Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. I, Naruto, become stronger with a critical strike system. Chapter 1. On the Hokage Rock, there was a gentle breeze, but it couldn't blow away Naruto's sorrow. Yes, he transmigrated into Naruto, the demon fox that everyone shouts and beats. It's a thing. Even if this is a fictional world, when I travel through time, it is a real world to me. So, why not time travel to 5 years after school, but to the first day of school? Naruto was puzzled. Is it just to let myself study for 5 more years? This hilarious ride through the god tier. Naruto couldn't afford to complain. It makes me have to go to school for another 5 years. But it's okay, I have crossed the cheat, this is my trump card, everything else is empty, strength is king. After jumping down, he came to the ground after a few ups and downs. He walked leisurely, ignoring the gossip of those people on the road and quickly returned home. As soon as he got home, he rummaged through the boxes and soon set off with a paint bucket in hand. Hey, Gia Gia. Naruto let out a strange laugh, and ran all the way to Hokage Rock. Tie yourself with a rope, and the other end of the rope is tied to a big tree above Hokage Rock, fix the position, and then follow the rock wall of Hokage Rock to the head of 3rd generation. Old man 3rd generation, I'm sorry. Naruto gritted his teeth and opened the paint bucket, and with a few brush strokes with a big brush, he outlined a complete big turtle. It's not good, Lord 3rd generation. Anbu member slammed the door open and said out of breath, Uzumaki Naruto did something bad. Oh, do something bad. Sarutobi Hiruzen was smoking a pipe with a very calm expression on his face. A child, what bad things can you do? Tell me carefully. Don't worry. He drew a big turtle on your Hokage Rock head. Puff. The originally calm Sarutobi Hiruzen was furious. Where is it? It's still on top of your head, I don't know what I'm drawing now. Go and have a look. Throwing away the pipe in his hand, Sarutobi Hiruzen came to the platform of Hokage's office and looked up, just in time to see Hokage Rock. Now, on his profile picture, there is a big tortoise, and there are 3 dull hairs on the tortoise's head. Don't mention it, this stupid hair is quite unique, what a ghost. Sarutobi Hiruzen roared. Go, catch him for me, I will punish him severely. You aroused the anger of Sarutobi Hiruzen, the critical strike was 10 times, and you got 10 pieces of monster meat. You aroused Sarutobi Hiruzen's speechless emotions, the critical strike was 100 times, and the physique was plus 100. Naruto, who was struggling to paint, was taken aback for a moment. Crit, Warcraft meat. Is this stuff the meat of World of Warcraft? Not sure. And that physique. Naruto can clearly feel that he is becoming stronger now, which is visible to the naked eye, and the strength of his body has directly become much stronger. Gia, it really is extraordinary. Naruto laughed and continued to paint, but a large group of Anbu members jumped up and held him down, and then grabbed him like a chicken. Naruto. Throwing away the big brush without any resistance, he was arrested obediently. In Hokage's office, Sarutobi Hiruzen stared straight at Uzumaki Naruto, who was indifferent, with a livid face, and growled in a low voice, Say, why are you drawing a turtle? No, why are you making trouble? I am blessing you. Naruto speaks plausibly. You aroused the anger of Sarutobi Hiruzen, doubled the critical strike, and got a piece of monster meat. Sarutobi Hiruzen laughed angrily. Bless me, that's it. Turtle is a symbol of longevity. I painted a turtle on top of your head to make you live a long life. I have a bad temper. Sarutobi Hiruzen almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. The members of Anbu on the side almost failed and laughed out loud. Good guy. It's the first time he's seen someone who speaks mischievously so freshly and refinedly, it's amazing. I thank you. Sarutobi Hiruzen waved his sleeve with a blank expression on his face. Let him clean the turtle for me, and I won't be allowed to go home without cleaning it. Clear, etc. Anbu's was about to pull Naruto. Naruto jumped up all of a sudden, the paint can't be wiped off. Don't worry, I have special props for rubbing paint. Naruto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go up the mountain to fight a tiger, but the tiger is missed, but a little bird. Naruto was holding a rag, inserting the paint vigorously, and humming an inexplicable song, which made the Anbu members twitch. This Naruto, why does it feel a little different? He couldn't say exactly what was different. It's done, goodbye. Not long after, when it was getting dark, Naruto threw the Zongshishi rag into Anbu's hands, and he jumped down, and disappeared in front of Anbu members in a blink of an eye after a few ups and downs. Anbu. He looked down at the rag in his hand. Gone. Why throw it to me? Throwing it into the trash can with a look of disgust, the Anbu members went to return. Dilapidated bachelor apartment, second floor, at home. Naruto rubbed his hands, and with a thought, he took out a piece of monster meat, and immediately, a bloody smell came to his nostrils. Naruto was stunned. This is so fresh. Let's make broth. Carefully cut a piece, chopped it, and made soup to drink. Not long, Naruto asked about the tangy fragrance. After sniffing, Naruto took a deep breath, a little intoxicated. It seems, I just don't know how it tastes. He took a spoon from the side and took a small bowl, and drank a few mouthfuls happily. You can feel a warm current flowing through your body. What a powerful energy. Naruto was shocked. This monster meat is definitely produced in a world that can practice, and this energy is constantly wandering, strengthening Naruto's body. The already enhanced body is getting stronger again. Even if it is tiny, it is indeed increasing. Amazing. Naruto was speechless. There is still so much monster meat. If I eat all of it, I will go to heaven. Subconsciously refine chakra on the bed. In an instant, chakra comes rolling, very fast. Haha, Lousy is about to take off. Naruto stood on the bed with his hands on his hips, looking up to the sky and laughing. You aroused the anger of the old kings next door, hit 100 times critically, and got 100 boxes of soft cases. Naruto. What the hell? Silently took out a box and looked at it. Naruto's eyes straightened. This, good thing. But right now I am too young to use it. Taking a closer look, Naruto was happy again. If this thing is thrown in the space, time will not pass, that is to say, it will never pass away. It's great, and I can use it when I grow up. Old Wong next door, he's a good guy. But the old kings next door, the point is our characters, are there so many? Naruto is suspicious. No, when you grow up, you must change to a better house, and you must not be neighbors with the old kings next door. The next day, Naruto obediently walked into the ninja school with his school bag on his back. He randomly found a seat, sat down, and looked at the children's shoes around him boredly. They were all a bunch of little kids, and they all had their own small circles. Naruto sat alone by the window, quietly watching the scenery outside. Hi, are you Uzumaki Naruto? Shikamaru didn't know when to sit over and asked in a low voice, what's the matter with the beard on your face? Pretty, right? Naruto was triumphant. Shikamaru. You aroused Shikamaru's speechless emotions, 1,000 times the critical strike, and gained Sage Body Quality +1. Permanent Sage Body Quality, not bad. Feeling the inexplicable changes in his body, Naruto smiled slightly. Shikamaru looked at Naruto speechlessly. How do you look pretty? Anyway, I look a little weird, so I came to ask you. I was born with it. Naruto's face straightened. The teacher is here. Shikamaru hastily sat down. Now that school has just started, he doesn't want to leave a bad impression. He must study hard at the beginning and make progress every day. Mr. Naruto. Hinata in the other corner watched Naruto secretly, feeling very happy inside. It's great that she's in the same class as Naruto-kun. Naruto glanced at the few people present. Everyone is there. Except for Shaoli's 3 misfits, Inazukaya and others were all there, and nothing changed. Finally, Naruto's eyes fixed on Sasuke. This person, still so delicate, looked a little uncomfortable. Ma-dan Ashura, Indra, even I can influence, it is absolutely amazing. Okay, students, today is your first class, come on, let's start with self-introduction. My name is Haruno Sakura. My name is Uchiha Sasuke. My name is Hyuga Hinata. The self-introduction went on one by one, and when it was Naruto's turn, Naruto stood up confidently. Shikamaru on the side couldn't help covering his face when he saw it. Oops, this man is going to make trouble. Hello everyone, my name is Uzumaki Naruto. I like to be a salty fish, a crane tail, and lower your average academic performance. You aroused the anger of the whole class, hit 100 times more critically, and obtained the complete knowledge of the ninja world. You have aroused Iruka's anger, the critical strike is 10 times, and you have obtained the 3-body technique. Naruto smiled and sat down calmly. Very good. This wave, yes, you have everything you need, and you don't need to study. Ninja World Knowledge Encyclopedia, you can test it casually, I have it all here. And 3 body technique. This is the basic ninjutsu to be taught in the ninja school, and you don't need to study it deliberately in the future, you can just be a salty fish. Very good. Sit down. Uruka was trembling with anger. This unique opening remark made him deeply remember the student in question, Uzumaki Naruto. Lessons begin now. Uruka took a deep breath. Sure enough, it's not so easy to be a head teacher. There are thorns on the first day, and it's this Uzumaki Naruto, the demon fox. Uruka took a deep look at Naruto and started the lesson. Naruto lay on the table, playing chess with Duke Joe. Uruka, classmate. Amazing. Shikamaru on the side was stunned. This Naruto is really a role model for my generation. In the first class, I went to sleep in a stately manner. It was really a mess. No, I have to work hard to learn all the knowledge of this ninja school, and then do the same, this time I am supposed to do it. Shikamaru secretly swears. You aroused Hyuga Hinata's curiosity, tripled the critical strike, and won the first gate of 8 inner gates. Naruto remained calm. Hinata's concern, that's normal. But the first gate of 8 inner gates is not bad. Anyway, Naruto is getting used to it, and by the time he graduates, he may already be very strong, the kind that can instantly kill the world. Very nice. Get out of class is over. Uruka left angrily holding the book, he was going to complain. This Uzumaki Naruto. 3rd generation. With a bang, Uruka came into the office and slapped his hands on the desk. Uruka growled angrily. This Uzumaki Naruto is really disgusting, I really can't teach it. Single quote. What's wrong? 3rd generation is very calm. The current situation has been expected. Many people don't like him, and it is normal to have such a situation. I slept in the first class, and said openly that I would lower the average score of the entire class. Uruka thought. Look, 3rd generation, it's not that I don't teach, it's that he is so arrogant. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep breath, dumbfounded. Gone. Is this Naruto so brave? This is all said, and it is so righteous. For a while, he was also a little angry. You aroused the anger of 3rd generation Sarutobi Hiruzen, doubled the critical strike, and obtained a piece of monster meat. Well, talk is better than nothing. Naruto turned over and continued to lie on the lawn of the campus basking in the sun. Aren't you afraid that you won't be able to graduate? Shikamaru sat aside. He was very curious about Naruto. Why was he so bold? Didn't he want to be a ninja, and he was afraid that he would not be able to graduate? Don't be afraid, I'm a genius. No, it's a monster. Naruto's tone was light. So, as long as I sleep, I can press you to fight. Depend on. Shikamaru nearly vomited blood when he heard that. I have seen arrogant ones, but I have never seen such an arrogant guy. Asshole. Shikamaru gritted his teeth. No wonder no one likes you. With such a bad temper, no one likes you. Asshole. You have aroused Shikamaru's slight anger, doubled the critical strike, and obtained the yin attribute chakra. Naruto hooked his mouth and continued to bask in the sun. In the afternoon, it was Mizuki's class. Looking at Uzumaki Naruto who was lying on his stomach, Mizuki smiled coldly. A demon fox is a demon fox, and it is difficult to make a difference in this life. Sleep in broad daylight, why do you want to come out at night? Harmful. Naruto raised his eyes. He felt a deep malice, raised his head, and just met Mizuki's kind smile. But he knew that this warm smile was fake. What hides is madness, disgust, and coldness. Like a lot of people in Konoha village, it was a wish that he would die. Mr. Mizuki, I heard that your fiancé is very beautiful. Naruto's eyes widened. Shikamaru, come again. Mizuki was also shocked, and then smiled gently. Yeah, what's wrong? With your looks, be careful of the old Wong next door. What do you mean? Mizuki was stunned. He didn't understand what kind of ghost the old Wong next door was. Naruto smiled and told the illusion of the old king next door. What the hell? Mizuki was furious, and directly cursed. You successfully aroused Mizuki's boundless anger, crit hit 10,000 times, gain speed plus 10. Bad, too bad. After school in the evening, Mizuki and Iruka collectively found Sarutobi Hiruzen and sued Naruto for his bad behavior. Seeing Mizuki trembling with anger, Iruka was suddenly grateful. This Naruto aimed at everyone present, but only targeted at Mizuki too much. It's because of his bad temper that you have to educate him well, don't you? Sarutobi Hiruzen calmed down. Over the past 2 days, Naruto's ability to deal with things has improved, and he is ready for a long-term battle. Iruka, Mizuki, what you said is so reasonable, we are speechless. Okay, Naruto's education will be handed over to you, go back. All right, the two were very reconciled, but what third Hokage said made sense. Naruto was still a child, and he had no parents since he was a child, so he inevitably had a bad temper. As a teacher, how could he be beaten to death with a single stick? Iruka thought for a while, then pulled himself together, ready for a long fight. Mizuki is different. At this moment, his face was very ugly. HMPH, just wait and see how I deal with you. Minato snorted coldly, walked home with a flick of his sleeves. Watching the two leave, Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned and said after a long time, looking at Mizuki, I think there is something wrong with him. He knew of Naruto's existence. Very perceptive, so it's interesting why he targeted Mizuki so much. So, he needs someone to keep an eye on Mizuki, to see if this guy will do something out of the ordinary. Today is a bit off. Naruto recalled some things today, and deeply understood that there was indeed something wrong with Mizuki today, and he will improve it in the future. Eat meat. I drank soup yesterday and fried meat today. Every day should be different. There is so much monster meat, so I am alone now, eat slowly, don't worry. Delicious. There is really no regret in having such meat in life. Satisfied, Naruto rubbed his belly and sighed. He didn't want to move, so he lay on the stool and turned on the TV to watch the program. There are very few TV stations, and there are not many programs. Naruto is drowsy after watching it. Time flies, and a week has passed in a blink of an eye. This week, Naruto was peaceful, which surprised Shikamaru a bit. He's still waiting for Naruto to do something. Pity. You aroused Shikamaru's helpless emotions, doubled the critical strike, and obtained the shadow binding technique. Naruto, what's wrong with this guy? He seems to be resting today. Naruto, who was sleeping late at home, was agitated, a little dazed, and couldn't understand what happened to Shikamaru at all, and he even got emotional with himself again. Forget it, I'm already awake, let's go out for a walk. Naruto got up, brushed his teeth and washed his face, ate some breakfast, and walked out of the room. Small river water, breeze blowing. The air in Konoha village is really fresh, there is no smog, no waste, and the river is so clear that you can go down to take a bath. Hey, Naruto, why are you here? Suddenly, when Shikamaru's voice came, Naruto turned his head and saw Shikamaru fishing with his hat on. You are so relaxed. Naruto sat down next to Shikamaru, and looked curiously at the wooden barrel next to him, but there was nothing there. Just here. No, it's been a long time. So don't tell me you haven't caught a single fish for so long. Ha ha ha, no way, bad luck. Shikamaru scratched his head, also helplessly. He was really trying to fish. Do you have a fishing rod? Lend me one. Hey, take it. Shikamaru handed over a small fishing rod. Naruto took it, thought for a while, and dropped the hook beside Shikamaru. You can't catch any fish near me, don't you see that I haven't caught any fish? Uzumaki Naruto fishing, those who wish to take the bait. Shikamaru. With these words, the artistic conception immediately came up. I really didn't expect Naruto to be so literate, and he can speak such profound words just after he started school, amazing. Hey, there are fish hooked so soon. Suddenly, Naruto was surprised to find that his hook was hooked by a fish. With a simple pull, the fish was pulled up, it was a small fish. You aroused Shikamaru's suspicion of life, tripled the critical strike, and got 3 delicious grilled fish. Grilled fish. Naruto looked strange, can this thing be produced by a critical strike? But it's okay, just eat something. Konoha village also has grilled fish, but it's not delicious, and the owner has a bad temper, and he treats him even worse. So Naruto didn't bother to go. It's good now. 3 grilled fish must be delicious. Save some food, you can eat it for 3 days. Shikamaru looked at Naruto fishing, and always felt that his fishing was very simple, and he came up with a simple pull, shouldn't there be skill? Although he didn't expect to catch any fish, he just came to enjoy it. Keep going. Naruto laughed, continued to throw out the hook, and lay down on the lawn, squinting his eyes to rest with Shikamaru. He found Shikamaru interesting. They won't be like other children, on the contrary, they may be too smart and mature in thinking. The two can also chat. That's fine. It is rare to have a friend, and Naruto also cherishes it. People. After all, it is a social animal, and being alone does not make people feel comfortable. The opposite is where Uchiha lives. It's really big. Leaning his back on the big rock, Naruto held a piece of green grass in his mouth, watching the scene of people coming and going across the way. All of them were wearing Uchiha's special clothes. Yes, Shikamaru nodded casually, feeling nothing about it. The recent atmosphere is also a bit weird, but I just don't understand what this atmosphere is all about. Isn't that Sasuke? Suddenly, Naruto saw Sasuke coming out of Uchiha's house, standing by the water, looking a little depressed, not knowing what he was thinking. The kind that is likely to be looked down upon by the father, or scolded. It's really vivid. Hearing Shikamaru's words, Naruto was stunned for a moment, looked at Sasuke carefully, and immediately felt that this should be the case. He does remember that Sasuke was often compared to Itachi by Fugaku. The result is that the more contrast, the greater the damage. Sasuke is not depressed, he feels better. Sasuke didn't pay attention to the two classmates on the opposite side, just quietly watching the sparkling water. After a long time, Sasuke took a deep breath, his face turned cold, and he put his hands together, and began to quickly make seals. Z, Cho, Yin, Mao, Chen, Si, Wu, Wei, Shen, Yu, Shu, Hai. Snapped. Wang. Chakra began to gather, a mouthful of fire was born from the mouth, and with a light spit, the fireball flew across the air and bombarded along the water surface until it exploded violently in the middle of the water. The powerful force blasted the surrounding water into the air. Water droplets splashed. I rely on. Naruto and Shikamaru's faces turned green, and they hurriedly avoided. This guy, didn't you notice someone on the other side? Sasuke stayed. Only then did I see two people on the opposite side, and I took a closer look. Isn't this Naruto and Shikamaru? The two of them often get together, and Naruto's weird theory on the first day of school made him remember this person deeply. He recognized it just by looking at it. This is a classmate. Hey, I said Sasuke, what are you doing? Naruto shouted loudly. My fish was scared away by you. Sasuke was a little ashamed. I didn't even notice that there was someone on the opposite side, I really shouldn't. You aroused Uchiha Sasuke's shameful emotions, the critical strike was 10 times, and the Sharingan dynamic vision was obtained. Naruto's expression remained unchanged, and he smiled faintly. Come and play. Play by yourself, I want to train. Sasuke is a little moved, but when he thinks of his brother, he feels that he still needs to work hard, and now is not the time to play. Let's wait until when he becomes a child of that other family. It's hard work. Seeing Sasuke, who was devoting himself to practice again, Naruto and Shikamaru looked at each other, and sighed helplessly. Well, let's change places. Fishing is not allowed here. With Sasuke's method of frying fish ponds, all the fish have run away, so what are they still doing here? Go, change places. Naruto and Shikamaru hooked up, ready to go somewhere else. Anyway, the river is so long, and there is not only one place where you can fish. As for Sasuke, it is estimated that it will not take long to stop. This ninjutsu is not so easy to use. Still too slow. Sasuke's mouth was red, but he was still so slow. It seems that there is still a long way to go from the strength of the big brother. Upstream, seeing that the bottom finally stopped, Naruto and Shikamaru looked at each other and smiled. This Sasuke is really hardworking. Compared with him, the two of them seem a bit out of place. Hey, everyone has their own ideas. I don't like being so hardworking anymore. Shikamaru holds the back of his head in his hands, enjoying a rare moment. For some reason, he always felt drowsy, as if he would never wake up. Naruto chuckled. You are thinking too much. I guess so. But Sasuke is really good. We have just started school and we are all classmates. He has been able to use the great fireball these few times. Shikamaru was a little envious. This strength is much stronger than them. Naruto smiled without saying a word. Although he only knows the three-body technique now, he is proficient an instant, and he will not create such a limp clone like the original one. He now has a very high level of control over his chakra. Why, looking at you like this, you still think you are better than Sasuke? I told you earlier, I'm a monster. You have aroused Shikamaru's speechless emotion, doubled the critical strike, and obtained the yin attribute chakra. Repeated, what's the use? Naruto raised his eyebrows, felt it carefully. Well, he didn't feel anything, so he simply didn't bother to pay attention to it. If the crit continues like this, there will always be changes. That's Uchiha Itachi, right? Naruto suddenly pointed to Sasuke's side. At this moment there was an extra person next to him, who was stroking Sasuke's head with a smile on his mouth. Yeah, I saw it at the party. Shikamaru glanced at him and nodded indifferently. He is the real evildoer, and he is very powerful now. I grew up listening to his legends since I was a child. This is a child from someone else's family in the true sense. Naruto, it's really awesome. If you destroy your entire clan's gadgets, if this is not awesome, then there will be no awesome people. Don't think he is just a few years older than us, but that strength may be a goal that we will never catch up with in our lifetime. Well enough. Shikamaru was speechless. Forget it. I'm done here. It is estimated that Naruto does not know the gap between them now, but when he learns a lot in school, he will know that the gap between them is like a gap, which is difficult to bridge. This is ninja. Every stage is a proof of strength. Is Chunin bad? But that's the mainstay of every ninja village. In the village, it seems that there are quite a few Jonin, but they are not many, and there are even fewer elite Jonin. Every elite Jonin is upgraded by stepping on countless reputations. Such as Hatake Kakashi, such as Hatake Sakumo et al. They are legends. I don't plan to be a legend in the future, I want to be an assistant just like my father. Shikamaru smiled. This is the easiest way. Single quote. Look at Naruto, who can go home on time for dinner every day, and still has time to play chess and other things. When I look at some people, I can't go home. This is the gap. So, just do the easiest thing to do. Naruto was speechless. You are not here as an assistant, you are my assistant. Wait, if I really become the 7th Hokage, I will assign you a lot of tasks to make you feel relaxed. Cultivation has to be done slowly, and it depends on comprehension, so that you can get twice the result with half the effort. Itachi smiled gently, patted his younger brother's head, and kept imparting experience. For Sasuke, he has always been very patient and soft-spoken. Even if the time is tight, he will take some time to accompany him. Take Sasuke to train, practice, and play. He thinks Sasuke is very cute. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. Itachi looked gloomy. Recently, the relationship between the family and the village has become more and more acute. He doesn't know how to balance the two. The top management of Konoha village did nothing, and he maintained it all by himself. I can't hold on any longer. Is it really the last resort? Itachi was silent. Brother, what's wrong with you? Sasuke seemed to be aware of it, and looked up at Itachi. Itachi put away his gloomy expression at that moment, and said with a smile on his face, "It's nothing, I just remembered something about work." Really, there must be many things about Anbu, and I will definitely join Anbu when I grow up. Oh why, share my brother's worries. Really, then you have to grow up quickly. Itachi smiled lightly, rubbed Sasuke's head, watched the river rolling. This kind of life is really good, and such a village is worth protecting. But why? Look, this is Itachi, how kind to my brother. Shikamaru envied, seeing that I also want such an oni sauce. This is Brokan. Naruto was speechless. Although it does look quite enviable, this kind of Brokan is not something everyone can do. Anyway, he has never seen it before, but now he has seen it in a real sense. That gentle gaze, is that Itachi? It seems that he will only show this expression in front of Sasuke, and he will always look cold in front of others, and speak in that light tone. You have aroused the soft emotion in Uchiha Itachi's heart. The critical strike is 12 times, and you get Amaterasu. Naruto, I go so far away, are your ears so good? Naruto looked at the Itachi on the other side of the river as if he had seen a ghost. What kind of ears are these? Could it be that the ninja has such a role when it is strong? Incredible. Naruto was speechless and didn't dare to say anything more. Now he is still a seedling, and he can't beat these ferocious ninjas at all. For his own life, he should be careful. In case a bad misfortune comes out of the mouth, it will be interesting. After being beaten up, I don't know where to go to seek justice. That's your classmate. Yes. Sasuke squinted and nodded faintly. One of them is called Uzumaki Naruto, and the other is called Nara Shikamaru. Let me tell you, Oni-chan. Sasuke excitedly told Itachi about the first day of school. Itachi just listened. Let's go. Boring. Naruto pouted, pulled Shikamaru away. If he stayed any longer, he would almost collapse. The brotherly and respectful look in this clothes is shocking. Well, he is indeed envious. It seems that he also wants to experience it. Unfortunately, no. Because he is an orphan and has no relatives. Angry. You have successfully aroused your emotions, the critical strike is 10 times higher, and the vortex physique has been strengthened. Naruto. Good. Forget it, what am I envious of, the clan will be wiped out soon. Naruto shook his head. He can't change this, and he's not in the mood to change it, it's none of his business. Naruto felt that he was waiting to grow up, then leave Konoha village, go to a place he likes, or travel around the world. It's better than staying in this village. He is not capable now, but if he is capable, he will definitely do this. As for who will save this village, don't be funny, he has been bullied so badly, just save the person you like, and the rest have nothing to do with me. Naruto felt that he was not a saint or something, and he couldn't do such a noble thing as repaying evil with kindness. Change someone to save you, or die. What's on your mind? I was wondering what to eat tonight. It's better to eat barbecue. No, Naruto shook his head directly. He ate a lot of meat recently, and it was all monster meat. He felt like he couldn't eat other meat when he was eating other meat. It's so fragrant. Suck. No, when I go home and make my own barbecue, I use Warcraft meat to roast it. It must be very fragrant and the taste must be particularly strong. Doesn't it taste better than those roasts? As for sharing before you have absolute strength is a bad idea, and a wise man will not do it. It's better to secretly get rich and enjoy secretly by yourself, this is the right way. Speaking of which, this beast meat is consumed a bit fast, old man third generation, you have to contribute some. Naruto raised his head, just in time to see the Hokage rock that he had wiped clean, his eyes rolled and he thought about it. Ah poof. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was looking at the crystal ball, sneezed violently, touched his nose subconsciously, and muttered, "Strange, who is talking about me?" At the same time, a small figure secretly climbed up the Hokage rock, the same movement but more proficient. Hey, Gia. Naruto took a big brush and drew a big tree on the face of the first generation, a big water on the face of the second generation, and a ground turtle on the face of the third generation. Done and call it a day. Naruto laughed. Suddenly, Naruto's smile froze, and below, several pairs of fire-breathing eyes were staring at him, and the atmosphere was silent for a moment. Uzumaki Naruto. With a roar, Iruka jumped out from nowhere, pointed at Naruto with trembling fingers. That's the sacred Hokage rock, what are you doing? I'm making trouble, can't you see? Naruto curled his lips in disdain. The next moment, they were captured by the wolf-like Iruka and sent to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Looking at the scene in front of him, Sarutobi Hiruzen raised his forehead. What the hell? The sneezing not long ago actually came true here, he thought. Who missed him? The feeling was that Naruto started to make trouble again. How long is this? 5 days. Should I block the rest day too so Naruto doesn't have time to mess around? Such a thought suddenly popped into Sarutobi Hiruzen's mind. You have aroused the anger of Iruka and others, the critical strike is 50 times, and you have obtained the perfect kunai throwing technique. You successfully aroused the anger of 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, the critical strike was 10 times, and you got 10 pieces of monster meat. Naruto's heart moved, and his heart blossomed with joy. Well, something new has been revealed. Close your eyes and realize it carefully, and find that this is indeed the perfect kunai throwing technique. As long as you can hold any kunai in your hand, no matter how many, you can hit it correctly and you can do whatever you want. This is awesome and powerful. Uchihas can't compare. Remember Uchiha Itachi's limit is 7 kunai, but he... Tut. The corner of Naruto's mouth curled into a smile. Still laughing, do you know the seriousness of the matter? Sarutobi Hiruzen patted the table. Wipe it up for me, and then stand as a punishment. You have successfully aroused Sarutobi Hiruzen's fiery temper. The critical strike is 10 times, and you get 10 pieces of monster meat. Naruto pouted. It's all Warcraft meat. That's fine, but he wants something new. Forget it, it's still a long time, take your time, I'm not in a hurry. Naruto consoled himself and went to Hokage Rock to wipe those up. He didn't have any ill feeling towards the first generation and second generation, but he was full of malice towards the third generation. Who told this guy to swallow his own money, and now he still gives some money every month, so he can only eat by himself. If you want to do something else, you have to dig and search. It's annoying. I heard that you went to Hokage Rock to do something again yesterday. Why did you do that? To get their attention. Naruto's voice was low. I hate loneliness and like to be lively, but no one plays with me. I can only attract people's attention in this way. Nara Shikamaru, Akamichi Choji, Yamanaka Ino. The three looked sympathetic. You successfully attracted the sympathy of Nara Shikamaru, Yamanaka Ino, and Akamichi Choji, tripled the critical strike, and obtained shadow clone technique. It's okay, you still have us. Yes, yes. Yamanaka Ino on the side was tearful. Girls are the most emotional, and Naruto's experience made her sympathize. Woo woo woo. Naruto hugged Ino, crying bitterly. Ino's face froze. You successfully aroused Yamanaka Ino's shyness, tripled the crit, and became bigger and longer. Naruto's face froze. This is not bad. Shikamaru was stunned, and the potato chips in Akamichi Choji's hands fell to the ground. Gone. Is this what people do? Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Naruto let go of Ino, with a pure face and a very sincere apology. That expression, that movement. Ino was in a trance for a while, shook his head, and said generously, "It's okay, are you sad too? We will be friends from now on." You have successfully aroused Hyuga Hinata's inner collapse, 100 times the critical strike, and the ability to roll eyes. Naruto's face froze, and he quietly turned his head to look at Hinata. It's fine, her face is a bit ugly at the moment. Cough, no, it has to be balanced. Naruto thought in his heart, what to do, what to do. At this time, Teacher Iruka came in, glanced at the few people present, with a smile on his face. Today, we are training outdoors. There are not many training items, just one, and that is kunai throwing technique. At this time, one of the basic teachings of ninjas requires a grandmaster. You will spend most of your time training outside. So get ready, boys. Kunai throwing is not something that can be practiced so easily. It requires hard work, a little bit of talent, and more skill. So, you have to listen carefully. Now, come out with me. Good. The students shouted and followed Iruka out of the classroom excitedly. Mr. Iruka is right. Kunai throwing technique seems simple, but it is actually the most difficult. Shikamaru sighed. I am forced to practice every day at home, and now occasionally I still miss the target. This is not a moving target, and a moving target is even more difficult. Single quote. Ino kept nodding. Yes, yes. Old miserable. Akamichi Choji ate his chips in silence. This thing, whoever trains it, knows it. It seems simple, but it is actually very difficult, much more difficult than the three-body technique. Naruto remained silent. Before, maybe he would have a headache, because he had never touched this thing, but now. He. I can't scare you to death. Naruto was full of confidence, and the three people watching him shook their heads and were speechless. Just wait, you'll know when it starts. Iruka led several people present to the campus playground. At this moment, many wooden frames had been placed on it. There were many kunai in the frames, but they were all made of wood. Not far away, there are rows of targets. See, today is the content of our training. Iruka smiled lightly. I believe many of you have practiced at home, but I still want to say that this kunai throwing technique is not that simple. It must be persistent. We will come to train every day in the future. Single quote. First, let me talk about some skills of kunai throwing technique. There are a lot of blah blah, and Iruka roughly talked about the kunai throwing skills. Look, Iruka took out a handful of kunai from the wooden frame, flicked his wrist, kunai flew through the air, and fell into the target's eye not far away in the blink of an eye. Look, Isn't it very simple? But this is the result of my training since I was a child. Some of you may have better talents and think it is simple, but I tell you, don't be proud, don't be complacent, there is no shortcut to this thing. Well, let's start now. Everyone takes a position and starts throwing. When the kunai in this wooden frame is used up, pick it up by yourself, and then continue. Ah, there was wailing on the playground. But for training, they could only grit their teeth and endure it. Naruto and the others looked at each other, walked to a corner, and stood apart. Naruto played with a handful of kunai. Not to mention, this thing is quite exquisite, very similar. The surface workmanship is not very rough. Just like this, throwing it on a person will also be very painful. Naruto, be careful, don't throw it on others. Seeing Naruto's appearance, Ino took a few steps back in fear. According to Naruto, he didn't seem to have touched this kunai much. Think about it too. They have inheritance in their family, so they have training every day. But Naruto is different. She was really afraid of Naruto messing around. Naruto glanced at Ino speechlessly, looked around, and found that Shikamaru and Akamichi Choji had the same expression. Naruto couldn't help but sneer. How about you come first? Also, the three thought for a while and nodded. Shikamaru took a handful of kunai and pointed it at. Whoosh! Ku-Wu breaks through the void and falls into the bull's eye. Ah, the hit rate is good this time. Shikamaru scratched his head. This way it can hit. Single quote. Yamanaka Ino and Akamichi Choji also picked up kunai each, threw them away and hit the bull's eye. Naruto beside him was speechless. I always feel that these guys are showing off. Wow! Suddenly, there was a loud applause not far away, and several people followed the sound, and just in time to see the two wooden kunai in front of Sasuke, all sank into the bull's eye. Hey, it's so annoying. Shikamaru scratched his head. He was already strong enough, but there was really nothing he could do about someone like Sasuke. Sharp. Iruka was also shocked. At such a young age, he was able to throw two kunai at the same time, and they were able to hit them at the same time. This comprehension of kunai's throwing technique almost caught up with him. Is this the world of geniuses? Iruka thought of himself. He was only able to do this until now. No wonder some people say that Uchiha is specialized in playing kunai. In this hand, many people present are hard to match. That's amazing, Sasuke. Yes, as expected of a famous queen. The praises made Sasuke feel a little elated. These are the results of my elder brother's teaching. After school in the afternoon, I must let my elder brother teach me something. Suddenly, Sasuke saw Naruto. For some reason, as soon as he saw Naruto, he was very eager to express himself, and couldn't help raising his eyebrows provocatively. I'm furious. Ino's pink face flushed red. Isn't it just two kunai? What are you proud of? Give me time, I can do it too. Hinata looked at Naruto, worried. As far as she knew, Naruto hadn't specifically studied this at all, so what to do? Naruto was speechless. Why are you looking at me? And Sasuke, do you really think you are very good? Naruto sneered, and took out 4 kunai from the wooden frame. Well, if you have 4, it is enough to suppress all dissatisfaction. As for more, just keep a line of life, and then we can meet each other. No, it is to be low-key. Naruto would not foolishly reveal his own strength. It is not yet the time, and he does not have the ability to protect himself. It is good for me to show some monsters appropriately. But really foolishly exposing all of one's abilities is courting death. 4. The eyes of all the people present looking at him were straightened, and most of them looked at Naruto as if they were looking at a mad patient. This person must be stupid. He wants 4 kunai for the sake of saving face. Do you think this kunai throwing technique is so easy to practice? Iruka frowned, and said comfortingly, Naruto, don't force it, just practice slowly. Look, under Ino's worried eyes, Sasuke's astonished eyes, and many people's disdainful eyes, the 4 wooden kunai arced gracefully and hit the bull's eye almost at the same time. Quiet, deathly silence. Everyone stared at the scene in front of them dumbfounded, with a dazed expression and a face full of disbelief. How is this possible? Iruka felt even more like he was dreaming. 4 kunai, how many people in the entire ninja world know? This kind of technique is actually useless, unless your strength is strong enough, so few people pursue it, but it does not mean that it is not difficult. No, the opposite of. It's hard. But now, Uzumaki Naruto has done it. Wow, everyone was in an uproar, looking at Naruto with fear, envy, and some admiration. They are still young and don't think so much. Maybe Naruto is often mentioned by their parents, making them fear and loathe him. But for those who are capable, they will definitely not be stingy with their dedication and admiration. How about it? It's amazing. Naruto stroked his chin, relaxed. The three of Shikamaru and Ino looked at it and immediately surrounded them. Ask for advice. Come on, let me teach you skills. Naruto smiled. He didn't mind teaching them a bit. It would take a long time to practice. He just got the benefits of the time traveler, so he didn't feel anything to be proud of. In the eyes of Iruka and the others, this is modesty. A child of this age, who has such a strong kunai throwing skill, can't succeed, and instead has an open mind. Well, not bad, really good. Iruka nodded in satisfaction. Maybe Naruto's character is a bit bad, maybe his temper is a bit weird. But it's a little strange who grows up in this environment. At least he has a good heart, as you can see from the situation in front of him. You aroused the shocking emotions of the classmates. The critical strike is 100 times, and the gain speed is +5. You caused Iruka's shocked emotions, 10 times the crit, and got chakra +5. What, for kunai? After school in the afternoon, Iruka reported everyone's performance to Sarutobi Hiruzen. In fact, there was no need to report this way. Hokage is not a god, and he doesn't want to be involved in everything, but he feels that Naruto's performance needs to be reported. This is amazing. What you said is true. Sarutobi Hiruzen almost spit out a mouthful of water, stared at Iruka dumbfounded, feeling that this person was lying to him. But as soon as he saw Iruka's serious look, he understood that it was true. Unbelievable, really unimaginable, this is a genius. Sarutobi Hiruzen thought of Uchiha Itachi. This is a genius monster who can practice kunai throwing to ultimate. If I remember correctly, the current him can throw 7 at the same time and still hit all of them. But this is Uchiha's. He just had no idea that Uzumaki Naruto could do this too. There is indeed a gap between 4 and 7, but the age gap between Naruto and Uchiha Itachi is there. He even had reason to detail that Naruto might overtake Uchiha Itachi in the near future. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen became excited. Uzumaki Naruto is of his line, no matter how much better than Uchiha Itachi. Ha ha ha, good. Sarutobi Hiruzen laughed, and the laughter spread far and wide. It is enough to see how happy Sarutobi Hiruzen is in his heart. You aroused Sarutobi Hiruzen's shocking emotions, 20 times the critical strike, and obtained multiple shadow clone techniques. You aroused Shimura Danzo's shocking emotions, hit 10 times the critical strike, and obtained the tongue bane technique. Naruto, this also works. Isn't it just for kunai, as for being shocked like this? Naruto thought about it and smiled. Indeed, I'm only 7 years old, and it's shocking enough to be able to do this so early in school. There are plenty of shocking moments ahead. With his hands behind his back, Naruto walked on the street like an old man, ignoring those disgusting eyes, quietly admiring the sunset view of Konoha village. No idea at all because Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo almost had a falling out. I mean, keep him under control. From this small detail, you can see that Uzumaki Naruto has a bad temper, and he is very talented. Danzo leaned on crutches, knocking on the ground, with a firm face. It must be controlled. This thing will get out of control in the future, and none of us can control him. Shut up, Sarutobi Hiruzen said solemnly. Uzumaki Naruto is the successor of our lineage and the successor of the Will of Fire. You can't do this. I will teach him well, and Iruka will teach him well. Besides, Sarutobi Hiruzen sneered, do you really think I don't know what your plan is? I don't care if you do this at the root, because it's a means for you to control your subordinates, but Uzumaki Naruto is a Jinchuriki, a strategic weapon belonging to the entire village, and I will never allow you to do this. Danzo trembled with anger. I'm also doing it for the village. Hee, what a coincidence, I'm also doing it for the village. If you don't want to do it, I can take back your rights. Gone. This sentence again. Danzo almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. Every time Sarutobi Hiruzen doesn't want to continue the quarrel, he will use this sentence to gag him. But that's what he does. Asshole. Danzo slams the door out. HMPH, fight with me. Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed, and smiled lightly. How can nine-tails Jinchuriki like Uzumaki Naruto be in your hands, otherwise I, Hokage, would still be a fart. Forget about abdicating early. Hate. Walking out of the Hokage office building, Danzo beat and scolded angrily. He still thinks that Uzumaki Naruto is definitely a time bomb and must be controlled well, and his tongue-bane technique is the best way to control it. HMPH, Sarutobi Hiruzen, just wait, sooner or later you will regret it. Danzo snorted coldly. Barbecue. Naruto had no idea that they had been arguing for so long just because he showed off a little bit. After all, even if I knew it, I wouldn't care. Anyway, it's not my turn to worry about this matter. If they really dare to mess around, he dares to run away now. With mental calculations or no intentions, he can definitely run out. When the time comes, the sky will be high enough for birds to fly, and the sea will be wide enough for fish to swim. The world is so big that you can't go to that place. It's just that he doesn't want to leave just yet. Because it is too easy to crit things here, probably because these people are familiar with it, and the things given are very good anyway. Like that old Wong next door and the like, the things they give are very tasteless. Under such circumstances, it is basically unnecessary to think about how to do it. Delicious. Naruto ate the barbecue, ate his mouth full of oil, and sighed comfortably in his heart. This kind of life is really carefree and happy. It would be perfect without those pesky eyes. It's just a pity. The world itself is not perfect, and it is not easy for him to ask for anything. A relatively perfect world needs to be managed and created by oneself. As for these people, don't bother with them. Let them die. It has nothing to do with myself. I have to go to school tomorrow. In this life, I won't be the tail of the crane, so I don't know who the tail of the crane is. At home, Naruto starts using chakra and performs the three-body technique. Transformation technique, clone technique, body replacement technique are used one by one, very skilled. There are also shadow clone and multiple shadow clone techniques, plus body flicker technique. These ninjutsu are the foundation. With these ninjutsu, you can be regarded as a real ninja. Next, let's see what can be crit hit in the future. It's exciting to think about. He desperately wants something good to come out. Brother, I want to learn the kunai throwing technique. Itachi, my little brother, didn't I teach you? Now that you can handle two kunai, you still want to learn. Yes, I lost the school competition today. Losing. Itachi was caught by Sasuke's words. How did you lose? Is there anyone more powerful than you? Single quote. Yes, it's the Uzumaki Naruto I mentioned last time. He can hold 4 kunai at the same time. Hiss. Itachi took a breath. Only ninjas who have practiced know how exaggerated the difficulty is without adding a handful of kunai. Now you tell me that kid named Uzumaki Naruto can hit 4 kunai at the same time. This is impossible. But thinking that Sasuke would not lie to him, Itachi fell silent again. Thinking about himself, Itachi's mouth twitched. Perhaps, another evildoer will appear in the village, which is very good. Okay, starting today, I will teach you the third skill of kunai throwing technique. Itachi squatted down, touched Sasuke's head, and said with a gentle smile. Since Sasuke wants to learn, it is his duty to teach him. He is also very willing to teach Sasuke and let Sasuke become a talent. You have successfully aroused Uchiha Itachi's shock and curiosity, the critical strike is 20 times, and you have obtained illusion specialization. Naruto. Tisk. This Sasuke, I must have gone back and told Itachi, otherwise Itachi wouldn't know about our affairs in a state of indifference. So good. Illusion specialization. This is the mastery of illusion. In the future, as long as you learn illusion, you can quickly get started, but I don't know if you can surpass Uchiha's illusion. This point is worth looking forward to. In short, this is a rare good thing for Naruto. Uchiha Sasuke, good man. Naruto sighed, slowly fell asleep, and went to play chess with Duke Joe. The next day, it was daylight, and Naruto got up and boiled a bowl of broth to reward himself. Eating some monster meat every day is already a habit that Naruto has cultivated in the past few days. After eating it, his body will be warmed up, and his physique will be subtly enhanced. Perhaps after a long time, he may become a master of physical arts. This point is worth looking forward to. This is already the second week, which means that the Uchiha genocide will be staged soon. Naruto silently calculated. He didn't want to benefit from it, but he just felt that he had to be careful. In case he wandered outside, he would be targeted, which would be very bad. Remember, it was the day of the exam. So, when is the exam? At the end of the month. It should be very possible. Naruto sat in his seat with a dignified expression. What's wrong with you? Ino was a little puzzled. You are always smiling, why do you seem to have something on your mind today? Is it so obvious? It's no longer obvious, Shikamaru complained powerlessly. Yesterday was fine, but today is so serious. Oh, just thought of something. Glancing at Ino and the others, Naruto smiled, but it's okay, I thought too much myself. Yes, I must have thought too much. There are many reasons for the genocide this time, but Uchiha Itachi is definitely the initiator. This person is too cruel. Even his own parents can get involved. The only thing he cares about is the village and Sasuke. Only these two things can make waves in his heart. For others, it is basically impossible. That's why he took action to exterminate the clan without hesitation, without mercy. Wrong. His parents appear to have committed suicide. Naruto pondered. In short, this person is very dangerous, it's best not to get close. Ino and Shikamaru looked at each other, worried. Naruto has always had that kind of grinning expression, and he doesn't show his inner sadness, but today he is uncharacteristically, which makes them very worried. You have successfully aroused Yamanaka Ino, Nara Shikamaru's worried emotions, triple the critical strike, and get chakra number +6. Naruto glanced at the two of them, feeling warm inside. They are all friends. But what is this chakra number? After carefully comprehending, Naruto's eyes flashed a hint of understanding. This is the amount of refining chakra. As a Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, he is also a member of the Uzumaki family. He can refine a lot of chakra, and now it has increased a little bit. Maybe you can't see anything now, but what about this addition? That amount is definitely considerable. Sharp. Naruto lamented how powerful the critical blow was, with a smile on his face. Don't worry about me, I'm just emotional for a while, it's nothing serious. Real. Of course it's true. Have I ever lied to you? No. The two smiled, too, and Naruto had never lied to them. Ha ha ha, let's go, I'll treat you to barbecue tonight, it's a good thing, you can't tell it. Naruto said mysteriously. Given their concern for themselves, Naruto decided to share. Eating too much monster meat seems to be less effective, but it is enough to make people crazy, but Naruto still decided to trust Shikamaru and Ino once. Because they care about him. That's enough. Even if he is exposed, he still has the ability to run away, so he is not worried at all. It's worth a try. Okay. The two readily accepted. Akamichi Choji looked at them, then at the snack in his hand, and suddenly felt that it was not delicious. Who the hell is Ino Shikacho? It's as if Uzumaki Naruto is one of the Ino Shikacho. Opening his mouth, he also wanted to blend in, but judging by their appearance, it seemed difficult to blend in. Shikamaru squinted at Akamichi Choji and asked with a smile, "Can I take Choji with me?" Sure. Naruto nodded with a smile. Ino Shikacho, one wins, one loses, nothing to bring. What kind of bad thoughts can a foodie have? Thanks. Akamichi Choji was very moved. He handed over the snack in his hand with some pain, and whispered, "Here you eat." The three of Naruto looked at each other and laughed. Be quiet now and start class. Naruto, they are in class. But Uchiha Itachi was walking on the streets of Konoha blankly. Just yesterday, the people of Uchiha went to a meeting again. As for what kind of meeting to hold, needless to say. You don't need to guess what he knows why. Because of this, even my father is sad all day long, not knowing what to do. My lord father doesn't want to rebel either. Actually, life is not bad now. Don't they know how serious the consequences will be if there is a rebellion? What is this? Itachi closed his eyes in pain, and when he opened them again, only indifference and indifference remained. It can't go on like this. Danzo, you win. Glancing coldly at a place not far away, Itachi disappeared, and when he reappeared, it was already not far above the Konoha village Hokage Rock. Not many people come here, but now there is a strange person standing quietly in the darkness. You came. I am coming. Have you decided? Itachi was silent, and it took a long time before he said in a hoarse voice, "It's decided. If we don't make this decision, Konoha village will have no future." HMPH. Good, you made a very wise decision. Don't worry, I will help you. The mysterious man smiled. Because only in this way, the world will be a better place, isn't it? Itachi looked coldly at the strange masked man in front of him. He also has Sharingan, also Mangekyo, also Uchihas. But when she came to the door, he knew that the man in front of him was definitely a lunatic, and he wanted to exterminate Uchiha, so he needed his Itachi's help. Itachi didn't intend to do that. But now, I can't stop it anymore. Uchiha's rebellion is inevitable. Once the rebellion occurs, the village will definitely lose a lot. At that time, a bad village will cease to exist. For the village, and for Sasuke, I'll let you know when I do. Ha ha ha, welcome, my friend. The mysterious man laughed, his whole body merged into the space, and disappeared in a blink of an eye. Itachi's pupils shrank sharply and remained silent. Demonstration. Have to say, you did it. This is the pupil technique of spatial ability. Time and space ninjutsu has always been a kind of ninjutsu that is troublesome, and I didn't expect this person in front of me to be one of them. Since it's decided, let's spend more time with Sasuke these days, there's a high probability that we won't have a chance in the future. Itachi turned around and disappeared over Hokage Rock. Have you decided? Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Itachi in shock. At the moment he spoke to him expressionlessly as if it had nothing to do with him. However, what he said was indeed cold words of extermination. Why is this so? There is still a chance, isn't there? Hypocritically, Itachi raised his eyes, his heart indifferent. All the phenomena are not caused by you, or the same sentence, when the sky collapses, no snowflake is innocent, especially those of you who are in charge of the entire Konoha village. Now give me compassion, who will I show it to? Taking a deep breath, Itachi nodded silently. That's the only way, otherwise the relationship between Konoha and Uchiha is doomed to life and death, and others can take advantage of it. In that case, let's go and do it. Sarutobi Hiruzen said lightly. It is not what he wants to see things develop to this point, but now that it has developed to this point, it is better to kill Uchiha than short-term pain, so that Konoha village will have more time to recuperate. I believe that even without Uchiha, Ino Shikacho and the others can support the banner of the entire Konoha. I have only one request. Itachi lowered his eyebrows. Sasuke must live well, if not, you know the consequences. Finished speaking, Itachi raised his eyes. Mangekyo Sharingan spun slowly, with an indifferent voice. I can't destroy the entire existence, but the ninjas in the village will also be considered to do tasks in the future. Trust me, I can do this. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked cold, but he could only compromise when he thought of the horror of Mangekyo. Yes, there is no way without compromise. Besides, it's just a Sasuke. Although that kid has some talent, it pales in comparison to people like Uchiha Itachi. It's not a bad thing to raise a person to get a super thug like Itachi. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen showed a smile. Okay, I promise you. Remember your promise. Itachi lowered his head, feeling cold inside. This is the upper echelon of the village, really, cold-blooded. But if they weren't cold-blooded, how could things have developed to this point, isn't it already known? I'm going to find Danzo. Itachi backed away slowly. He understands this matter. Sarutobi Hiruzen can't come forward, and the only one who can come forward is Shimura Danzo, who often takes the blame and is willing to take the blame. This matter still needs his support. Only in this way can nothing go wrong. Go ahead, your time is running out. Roots, located under a big tree, where Danzo dug a big hole to provide root ninja survival. Here, Danzo is heaven. In his words, even Hokage doesn't work sometimes. If Sarutobi Hiruzen is the emperor above the ground, then he is the king below. It is not an exaggeration to say that Danzo has this strength and ability. Itachi, I probably know why you came to me today, so, have you really decided everything? Up to now, there is still something that I haven't decided on. I'm just here to tell you, cooperate with me, and then, take a good look at Sasuke, otherwise you won't be safe. Same action, same person. Danzo's scalp was numb and his heart was terrified. This is the sense of oppression of Mangekyo. Danzo's eyes were fiery, but he nodded calmly. In that case, I promise you, don't worry, Sasuke, I will watch him grow up. So, thank you. Itachi turned and walked away. He couldn't stay here for a moment, he felt sick. Hey, Sharingan, it's all mine now. Watching Uchiha Itachi's departure, Danzo Mori sneered. He has coveted the Sharingan for a long time, and soon those Sharingans will all be mine. Yuan Fei, Sarutobi, after my strength has greatly increased, that position must be mine. You are already old, and it is time to abdicate. The gloomy voice echoed in this dark and damp cave. No one thought. In such a place, they decided the demise of a family. On the ground, the sun shines, as if erasing all the darkness. After school, Naruto went home first. Shikamaru and the others had to go back and talk to their parents before they could come out. Naruto has nothing to do with himself. He also has to go back and prepare, and put the monster meat that exists in the space into the refrigerator. Several people hit it off and parted ways. It would be nice to get a serving for 4. Naruto was thinking while walking, and was going home to get ready. Suddenly, a figure appeared in front of him. Naruto took a closer look, his pupils shrank suddenly. Uchiha Itachi. Yes, standing in front of Naruto was a not-so-tall man, but the sense of oppression he gave was incomparable. This person is clearly Uchiha Itachi. It seems that everyone underestimates you. Itachi narrowed his eyes. He was just here to see this kid named Uzumaki Naruto, but Naruto's subconscious performance just now made him realize that this kid is not what he said in the rumors. He is very difficult. You successfully aroused Uchiha Itachi's shocking emotions, 100 times the critical strike, obtained a crow clone, and gained physical strength +10. Uzumaki Naruto. What did I show just now that made you guess that I am not simple? So, I hate you people who are so careful, it's terrible. In front of them, you seem to have no secrets at all, and you can be seen through in an instant. Although I don't know how strong you are, I know that you are very strong now. Itachi said lightly, I want to tell you about Sasuke. Naruto hesitated for a while, but walked over to face the scalp, raised his head, forced a pure smile, and asked kindly, are you Sasuke's brother? All right, even if you see through my difficulty, I don't intend to expose myself. You see through, others don't. Itachi took a deep look at Naruto. Such a cautious person should be a habit developed since childhood. Thinking about it, an existence that was hated by people since childhood, seems to be no different from their Uchiha. Since you want to pretend, I'll let you do it. Left and right are also asking for something. Yeah, I'm Sasuke's older brother. My name is Uchiha Itachi, and I want you to keep an eye on Sasuke for me. Itachi straight to the point. Hearing this, Naruto's pupils shrank suddenly. This moment, Naruto thought a lot. It seems that the Uchiha genocide plan has already begun to be implemented, otherwise Itachi would not have said so. But there is a question, why did Itachi come to him? If I remember correctly, Itachi also has another purpose, which is to stimulate Sasuke and force Sasuke to open his eyes, although in the end Sasuke pulled his hips. But this is nothing more than Sasuke is still young and not strong enough. When Sasuke is strong enough, it will be easy to open his eyes and succeed when he is stimulated by the outside world. This is one of the ultimate goals of Uchiha Itachi. You tell me to watch Sasuke carefully now, doesn't that make Sasuke blind? Itachi looked at Naruto deeply, and said lightly, I just hope you can put pressure on him and stimulate him, so that he can pursue strength as much as possible. Single quote. Gone. Feelings are here waiting for me. Naruto's face darkened. This, you don't need to do it deliberately, as long as I keep getting stronger, it will be a stimulus to him. That's what you said. So, do you need anything? Itachi took a deep look at Naruto, then changed his tone and said, I'm talking about remuneration. If there is no accident, I will rarely return to the village in the future, so I should give you the remuneration in advance. Unnecessary. Naruto shook his head. Sasuke and I are friends and classmates, and helping him is helping me. Single quote. Itachi was suddenly moved. Such a good friend. In the future, if Sasuke is willing to stab him to death, there is a high probability that he will be able to open Mangekyo, right? Itachi smiled. In that case, thank you. You have successfully aroused Uchiha Itachi's moved emotions, doubled the critical strike, and gained chakra +10. Only doubled. Naruto squinted at Itachi. This person really doesn't have that big emotional swings towards others. I've said that, you guessed it, I was twice as violent. Never mind. Anyway, he would go and be good friends with Sasuke if he could. Although Sasuke is a bit of a jerk and a bit irritating, he is definitely a good friend. If possible, Naruto still hopes to have such a friend. It's just, how does this Uchiha Itachi feel weird to me? Naruto rubbed his chin in thought. It seems to be raising Giyu. He doesn't want Sasuke to kill his wife to prove the way when he grows up, right? Bah, is it killing friends to prove the way? Thinking carefully about Uchiha Itachi's personality, Naruto's face was expressionless. It is not possible, it is certain. The current Itachi doesn't know that the future president Uchiha Sasuke is crooked, and doesn't care whether he has this friend at all. Gone. This kind of person has a lot of thoughts and is the most annoying. Naruto cursed secretly, ignoring this guy. It has nothing to do with his own beauty to control these things. Even without today's incident, Naruto would gradually become friends with Sasuke. Crit. The more friends the better. Use each other, help each other, this is a friend. I said. Naruto happily returned home, and not long after getting things ready, Nara Shikamaru and the others came to the door. This meat. When the first bite went down, Nara Shikamaru, they were shocked. You successfully aroused the shock emotions of Nara Shikamaru, Akamichi Choji, and Yamanaka Ino, with a 100-fold critical strike, and obtained Rasengan. Naruto smiled. Not bad, this is a good thing, eat more, it will be good for you. This meat is amazing. Shikamaru's heart trembled. He knew better than anyone that if the effect of this meat was spread, Naruto would never have peace. Taking a deep look at the smiling Naruto, Shikamaru looked serious, and said to Ino and Choji lightly, no one should tell anyone about this, otherwise friends won't have to do it. Single quote. Ino and Choji nodded hastily. This is for sure. This thing is so good, it makes people unable to help but to arouse greed. Even my own relatives can't tell. We know, Ino said in a low voice. Being able to eat a little is already a blessing. I feel that my physical strength is good after just eating a few bites, which is very good for our future. Eat, eat. Naruto showed a smile. Very good, I read you right. Don't worry, this is my exclusive secret recipe. After a while, there will be a little bit. Let's eat it together. Thank you then. Shikamaru was silent. If he eats this thing often, he can't believe their future achievements. And this is brought by Naruto. He will not refuse, but in the future Naruto must be the object they want to protect most. They are friends and comrades in arms. Isn't it? Several people looked at each other, smiled, and began to eat and drink. Eat and drink enough, watch TV, they are the kind of people who don't like to move around very much, so it feels good to be relaxed. Rasengan. When they ended the meeting, Naruto hid at home alone, spreading his hands silently, and a Rasengan spun rapidly, appearing in Naruto's eyes. This Rasengan looks very beautiful and very gorgeous. But the power in it is terrifying. This is Rasengan, a Muji Jutsu. There is no need to seal, just raise your hand. Just make balls if you have nothing to do, this is Naruto. I seem to want to go down this path now. Looking at the Rasengan in his hand, a smile appeared on Naruto's face. No way, this Rasengan is too fragrant. It's much better than those ninjutsu that have to be printed. At that time, develop more and strive to throw it out, which will be more perfect and stronger. Perhaps, when a time-space ninjutsu like Flying Thunder God breaks out, it can deal unexpected damage with Rasengan. At that time, the Golden Flash will reappear, which will not scare them to death. Ha ha ha. Thinking of the beautiful scene in the future, Naruto couldn't help laughing. You successfully aroused the painful emotions of the old king next door, doubled the critical strike, and gained the old king's physique. Naruto. This thing, it seems, is not bad. What a ghost. Thief Sao is actually me. Gone. The years passed, and in the blink of an eye, the end of the month came. Uruka walked into the classroom holding the roll paper, subconsciously fixed his eyes on Uzumaki Naruto, just in time to see that Naruto was sleeping. I don't know what I dreamed in my dream, and I smiled silly. That's it. Uruka looked at the test paper in his hand and fell silent. He still remembers the first day of school, when this guy brazenly said that he would lower the average score in their class. Uruka was so angry at that time. Later, I thought this guy was joking, but subsequent developments confirmed this guy's statement. He went to class every day either sleeping or deserting. In short, he basically didn't listen to the class very much. That's it. The actual combat exercises and so on are all the first, and it is still a crushing victory. That's fine, you're talented, you're awesome. But what about this culture test? Looking at the big number 1, full marks, Uruka sighed, looking a little confused. Is there really a monster in this world who can do it at a glance, and can get full marks without even listening to lectures? Seemingly, met by myself. Looking at Uzumaki Naruto, who was still sleepy, Uruka showed a smile on his face. Okay, class. Glancing at the students present, Uruka smiled and said, isn't there an exam this morning? Now the results of the exam are out. Under the expectant eyes of all the students, Uruka picked up the roll of paper and said in an erratic voice, Uzumaki Naruto, number 1 in the class. Wow, everyone's eyes popped out, and they looked at Uruka in disbelief. This is impossible. How could Naruto be number 1 with his sloppy look? You say that others are the first and they still believe it, but this Naruto is too exaggerated. You successfully aroused Uruka's shocked emotions, and got chakra +5. You successfully aroused the shocking emotions of all the students in the class, and you got Sage Mode progress +1. And this thing, Naruto was a little surprised. After a closer look, he realized in his heart that this is the progress, just like collecting fragments. Only after collecting 10 fragments can the Sage Mode be activated. To be honest, not very good. But it's better than nothing. Yes, you heard it right, Uzumaki Naruto is the first, it can't be wrong. Next is Uchiha Sasuke, quote. Read it one by one, and everyone doesn't care much anymore. Who cares about your second place? The first Uzumaki Naruto is the most shocking to them. Even if they beat them to death, they couldn't figure out how Uzumaki Naruto, who was sleeping and chatting during class, became the number 1. But the facts speak louder than words, that's how things are, even if they can't figure it out, they have no choice but to accept this reality. On the way, Sasuke pulled his face deftly, feeling no joy at all. Why, what is this? Sasuke is confused. I worked so hard and worked so hard, but in the end I was crushed by a person who didn't work hard and didn't work hard. This was such a blow to him that he couldn't accept it for a while. To be honest, even if Shikamaru is better than him, he will recognize it, but it is Uzumaki Naruto who he doesn't like. You have successfully aroused Sasuke's anger and gained Rasengan to become stronger. Naruto, this guy, what do you want to write in your heart? Probably can't accept it. Naruto chuckled. He won't be eating meat today, he's going to eat ramen. Hey, wait. Naruto was taken aback for a moment, his expression was cloudy, it seemed that the night of Uchiha's genocide would be tonight. Or has it already started? Forget it, go home. It's too dangerous outside, let's go home, this matter is not something I can participate in. Although he sympathizes with Sasuke, he can't help in this matter. The situation between the village and Uchiha has long been on the surface, too acute for them to let go of their prejudices. Perhaps, Uchiha Itachi's approach he thinks is the most reasonable and the best result. Maybe this is the best result that those people in the village think. It's about to start. Sarutobi Hiruzen stood by the window of Hokage's office, looking at the Uchiha clan land in the distance. This ancient family is about to become history from today. Itachi, can you really calm down? Danzo was watching too, he was getting ready to go. In any case, today Uchiha will become history, become dust, and only Uchiha Sasuke is left struggling to survive in the world. Are you ready? Obito quietly looked at Uchiha Itachi who came to the door. If you are ready, I will make a move. Ready, Uchiha Itachi said in a deep voice. I have been waiting for this day for a long time. From today onwards, the problems between the village and Uchiha will no longer exist. So, let's do it. We unite to perform the illusion. As for the outside, there are people like Danzo, you don't have to worry about that. Obito took a deep look at Uchiha Itachi, they have no room for bullying their own people. Itachi, I have known this for a long time. Kill, rumble, lightning, thunder and rolling clouds seemed to be giving the final roar for this ancient family. It's going to rain. Although I'm only in second place, my brother should be happy too. Sasuke raised his eyes to the sky. The sky where there was still some sunshine just now was directly covered by clouds, and the dark clouds were overwhelming, making it look extremely depressing. Trotting all the way, Sasuke ran towards the house. This day has finally come, my child. Uchiha main house. Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Makoto knelt quietly in the room, waiting for their proud child to come in. My lord father, my lord mother. Son, you've come to this point in the end. Uchiha Makoto looked sad. Should I be proud, or should I be angry? Uchiha Itachi was silent. Is this your choice? Fugaku looked up and looked outside. Do you think this choice is correct? It doesn't matter whether it's right or not, as long as the lieutenant commander is still alive, the village is still there. Itachi's voice was hoarse, and tears poured down his face. If possible, he also wants to change the ending. Who can understand the entanglement and pain in his heart? This is not something that one person can bear. Since you have decided, then we will fulfill you. Remember, take care of Sasuke, he is our only tie in this world. Uchiha Fugaku smiled. This was the result of a multi-party game, and he knew they couldn't survive. Even if Uchiha Itachi doesn't do it, someone else does. If it wasn't for that guy out there. Fugaku thought for a while, he would probably resist. But since you can't resist now, then, let's die calmly. Send off, my lord father, my lord mother, on the way. Itachi's voice was low, his expression was expressionless after the pain, and he quietly watched the blood flow on the spot. It was the blood of the parents, and it was his blood. Since then, he was left alone. The pain in my heart was violently counterattacked. Even Sasuke won't recognize himself, and he can kill him himself at that time. You are really a dutiful son. Obito looked at the scene in front of him blankly, and sighed in his heart. Uchiha of New Oda also has his own childhood memories, but this is not important anymore. To him, the world without Lin is just gray and white, and everything can be discarded. He can even persecute his teacher and his wife who loves him the most. How could he do it for a mere Uchiha? Ah, Itachi sneered. Let's go, there are still some fish that slipped through the net. Indeed, there is one more. Itachi was silent, his figure flashed, and he came in front of a person. That is the spring. Uchiha Spring. Let me take you on the last journey. The scarlet eyes rotated, Mangekyo Sharingan opened quietly, and the happy life of a person flashed one by one like a horse watching flowers, and finally fell into Itachi's embrace. Before leaving, she smiled and whispered softly, Itachi, I am waiting for you in the Pure Land. Single quote. I will come. Itachi was expressionless. Suddenly, Itachi's ears moved slightly, and he looked sideways, with a morbid smile on his face. He's back. The next day, when everyone gradually woke up, a piece of amazing news swept in at an extremely fast speed. The Uchiha clan, last night, exterminated the clan. Genocide the eldest son of Uchiha Patriarch, Uchiha Itachi. For a moment, everyone was shocked. Even Naruto stood silently at the side window when he heard the news, watching quietly. God, it has changed. Konoha village can survive again until another big event happens. It's really ironic. Naruto sneered. Next time you won't be so lucky. Naruto tilted his head and thought for a while. The next time seems to be 5 years later. The Konoha collapse plan. Who else needs to save this time? Do you count on me? Naruto shook his head and laughed. Let's talk about it later. Anyway, he will never save those who mock and hate him every day. Others can, like Yamanaka Ino, like Nara Shikamaru. Oh my friend. Naruto shook his head. This matter is far from over, and the entire ninja world will experience a major earthquake. In fact it is so. Kurigakure, Sunagakure, Cloud Shinobi Village, and Iwagakure all received the news and fell silent for a moment. I rely on. Ruthless. Even his own mother clan will be wiped out at will, without mercy at all, leaving only a single seedling for this family, Uchiha Sasuke. And it seems that this Sasuke is almost useless, and he is still lying in the hospital. What hatred, what resentment. They don't understand. What is your Hokage used for? I don't know such a big thing. Of course, these are just the thoughts of ordinary people. But those higher-ups were terrified and frightened. Third Hokage's heart is really cruel, and he can do anything. How could this kind of thing be silent overnight without their support? are those Uchiha people allowed to be killed by Uchiha Itachi? This is absolutely impossible. Oh, third Hokage, Shinobu. Somewhere, Orochimaru, who was doing research, smiled coldly and dismissively. Jiraiya, who is visiting the surrounding area, is in rare silence and confusion. Is such a village worth going back to? Tsunade is intoxicated in the casino all day long and cannot extricate himself. Life is full of vicissitudes, changing every day. Life has to go on. Genocide seems to be a big thing, but eating, drinking and having fun is the most important thing for people, so soon the people of Konoha village slowly got on the right track. It's just that I sometimes sigh when I think back to the past. But they all kept silent, and very few people would really speak out their inner guesses. Ino, a flower. Naruto came to Ino's flower shop and sold a flower to see Sasuke. Classmates, you have to go and see. Wait for me, I'll go too. Ino also held a flower and followed Naruto silently. Naruto, why do you say this? Isn't everyone living a good life? Naruto stamped his feet, looked sideways at the somewhat confused Ino, smiled slightly, stroked Ino's golden hair, and said lightly, these things are not their fault, they are the fault of this world. It's the bad nature of people. Naruto whispered in his heart, came to the ward with a heavy heart, and saw Sasuke's appearance. He thought he could stay out of it, but the moment he saw Sasuke, Naruto realized. Also living in the village, if there is no absolute strength, no absolute right to speak, this kind of thing will still happen. Because people are still the same group of people, and things are still the same. Even he was wandering outside while staring at the name of the demon fox, so he had no chance to defend himself. What's the use of making an excuse? Sasuke, Naruto and Ino put the flowers and fruits away, and sat beside Sasuke quietly. Sasuke's eyes moved slightly, and he looked at Naruto and Ino indifferently, and then looked outside again, staring blankly. A picture flashed through my mind. It's all about the weasel. There is laughter, there is discomfort, there is sadness, until it freezes. It was fixed on that night. Bloody moonlight, cold eyes and terrible nightmares. Revenge, I must take revenge. Sasuke shouted, roared inwardly, and a cold breath swept the entire hospital ward. Naruto subconsciously looked over and remained silent. The cold Sasuke of the future has awakened. After. He always looks like this, and the wounds in his heart will never be healed. Let's go. Naruto sighed softly. Now Sasuke needs to be quiet, he will figure it out. Oh, Ino didn't know what to say, and when he heard Naruto's words, he hurriedly got up and walked out together. As for Sasuke, I hope that as Naruto said in his mouth, he will look away, this is the best. Watching Naruto and Ino leave, Sasuke held the sheet tightly, his face becoming more and more indifferent. Terribly cold, poor, bitter cold. Chapter 11. You successfully aroused Yamanaka Ino's soft emotions, triple the critical strike, and get the heart-turning technique. Naruto paused and glanced at Ino. Ino looked inexplicably. What's wrong? It's okay, just a little emotional. Naruto shook his head. It has been more than a month since crit strikes, and he has a more or less understanding of them. Most of them are ninjutsu, and sometimes they will repeat them. What about this reward? Fine, but that's about it. In Naruto's opinion, the best thing is attributes. For example, acceleration, plus the amount of chakra. These are what Naruto values. Base. With a strong foundation, you can do everything well. For example, Uchiha Madara, his fire style and other people's fire style are two levels, very different. This is what Naruto is after. But it's a pity that there are too few critical strikes in this situation, and there are not many times until now. If he comes a few more times, Naruto is confident that his basic strength alone can crush most ninjas. I'm not in a hurry, I'm only 7 years old now, and it's still a few years before Ninja World Wars. Naruto patted Yamanaka Ino's head and went home. Sasuke's matter has come to an end, but it seems that it has just begun. From this day on, that seat was empty, and Sasuke was never seen again until a week later. When Naruto walked into the classroom, he saw Sasuke instantly. He was sitting in his seat at the moment, with a cold look and an expression that no strangers should enter. Naruto walked over and said hello, Sasuke, welcome back. Sasuke's eyes moved slightly, a strange flame flashed in his eyes, and his voice was light. Uzumaki Naruto, from today on, I will pursue number 1, and I will definitely surpass you. Only by going beyond Uzumaki Naruto can one know the level of that man. Only by surpassing Uzumaki Naruto can he be qualified to hunt down that hateful man. Go beyond Naruto, go beyond yourself. This is his goal, his mission, and his driving force. You successfully aroused Uchiha Sasuke's competitive mood, the critical strike was 10 times higher, and he gained the Sharingan ability. A smile appeared on Naruto's face. Well, I'm waiting for you, Sasuke. Single quote. The two looked at each other, and there seemed to be sparks in their eyes. Hinata held her cheek, a blush flashed across her face. Serious Naruto, so handsome. You successfully aroused Hyuga Hinata's shy emotions, triple the critical strike, and gain +3 attack ability. Naruto subconsciously squinted at Hinata. Hinata was startled, and hurriedly lowered her head and pretended to do homework, her heart pounding. Naruto wouldn't have noticed me, would he? There was a small storm in Hinata's little heart, and her face became even more flushed. Naruto smiled. Hinata looks so cute. This era is so beautiful. The beauties are all natural, with hot bodies. Ha ha ha. Naruto smiled and sat back in his seat. Sasuke is here. Shikamaru said in a low voice. Judging from Sasuke's appearance, he should not have come out completely, his body is cold. This is also impossible. Naruto was speechless. What else could he say? Since this incident didn't happen to them, they had no right to say more. Things didn't happen to you, and you never knew the pain. So Naruto does not comment. He would just watch Sasuke silently to see how he was chasing me. Sasuke, I won't let you go. If you want to chase me, just rely on your own ability. Perhaps, it is also good to have a motivation to move forward. Naruto lay on the table and fell asleep in a daze. Go, catch lobsters. As soon as school was over, Shikamaru took Naruto and walked away, saying, lobster is very delicious, and I will never get tired of eating it. Lobster, I like it too. Naruto's eyes lit up, looking at Ino and Akamichi Choji. The two hesitated for a moment, then hurriedly followed. A group of people went to prepare props and catch lobsters. Not far away, Hinata followed quietly, a little envious watching them play together. When will I be able to play carefree like them, and be able to follow Naruto and yell after him? I really envy Ino, I really envy Shikamaru and the others. Hinata's eyes were full of envy. You have successfully aroused the envy of Hyuga Hinata, 5 times the critical strike, and obtained the gentle fist method. Naruto glanced calmly at the head of the bull, then smiled slightly, and appeared next to Hinata who was hiding under the big tree, and subconsciously patted Hinata on the shoulder. Yo, Hinata, come and play together. Single quote. Naruto-kun. Hinata was stunned, her face flushed instantly, and she fell down in a daze. Hi, Hinata. Naruto's face froze. Startled, he hugged her hastily, then thought for a while and put it aside, waiting for her to wake up. Naruto, what's wrong? Shikamaru and the others ran over and saw Hinata at a glance, a little curious. Ino frowned, and the woman told her directly that the dizzy little girl in front of her was a strong rival. Can't help staring at her a few times. Oh, it's Hinata, she seems to want to play with us. Then it would be nice to have her together when she wakes up. Shikamaru was thoughtful. He seemed to know something when he was a kid, so he couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth and showed a smile. Yell. Hinata transformed leisurely, seeing a large group of people surrounding her, staring at her and couldn't help being startled. Wake up, let's catch lobsters together. May I? Of course. Shikamaru grinned and smiled. Let's go together. Oh, well, thank you. Hinata responded with a sticky voice, and followed behind them a little shyly, watching them catch lobsters and their laughter. Gradually, she let go of some of the strangeness in her heart, and played behind them to her heart's content. Hyuga Hiyashi watched the scene in front of him blankly, his brows twitching. From a long time ago, Hinata often slipped out alone and watched Uzumaki Naruto secretly, and now he was noticed by Uzumaki Naruto and they all played together. Gone. I always feel the rhythm of my little padded jacket being taken away. Is this an illusion? Hyuga Hiyashi was lost in thought. Well, it should be an illusion. My family Hinata is so well behaved. She will inherit the position of the head of the Hyuga clan in the future. No matter how you say it, it is impossible to marry. I think too much. Hyuga Hiyashi breathed a sigh of relief. You successfully aroused Hyuga Hiyashi's depressed mood, triple the critical strike, and gained defense +2. Naruto was taken aback, his expression froze. Oops. The future father-in-law looked at this and saw me yelling. Will it appear immature? Never mind. Probably not. A child should look like a child, and I have struggled to integrate into it. What else do you want? But it seems that the stronger the person, the better things they will give. Don't look at Warcraft meat as if it's rotten on the street, but in fact its effect is very good and it is very nutritious. Speaking of Warcraft meat, this is almost finished. Well, it's time to make a wave. Naruto rubbed his chin and smiled, the meat of the beast cannot be broken. What is known now is that Sarutobi Hiruzen can explode Warcraft meat, and there are many other people who don't know. Correct. Danzo's group of elders is rarely encountered, so he doesn't know what else they will explode. In short, there are many people who can strike critically, one by one, and no one can escape. Take it easy. Naruto kept grabbing the lobster, thinking inwardly. It's evening. Let's go back. I don't know how long it took, but a few people returned with a full load. As for the lobsters, they gave them to Naruto in a tacit understanding, because they knew Naruto's family background, so they would not take these things home. Naruto also tacitly didn't say anything. This is the tacit understanding they have played together for so long. Naruto will not pretend to be hypocritical. He contributed all the meat of the monster. Isn't this better than what they gave? This does not affect Naruto their friendship. Gradually drifting away from childhood to the conference, and it is very good to have one or two in the end. Naruto waved his hand and watched them leave with a smile in the corner of his eyes. So, cherish the moment. Today is the day to send money. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who finished a painting, looked at the time and found that it was already 6 o'clock in the evening. By this time, Naruto should have eaten at home. It's time to go. Sarutobi Hiruzen tidied up the office, took out a wad of money from the drawer and put it in his pocket, smoking a pipe, walking on the street like a kind grandfather, towards Naruto's house. At the moment, Naruto is looking at the lobster and worrying. He had absolutely no idea how to do it, never did. I heard there are parasites. Naruto touched his chin, watching them crawling around in the barrel, unable to do anything for a while. Boom boom. Suddenly, there was a knocking sound outside the window. Naruto was speechless, probably the old man Sarutobi Hiruzen again. This guy has never taken an unusual path, he just likes to climb windows, and he doesn't know where he got the habit. Angrily, he went to open the window, and saw Sarutobi Hiruzen smiling all at once. Old man, you are here again. You successfully aroused Sarutobi Hiruzen's speechless emotion, the crit was 10 times, and the money was 2 crit. Naruto's eyes lit up. This is a good thing, and it directly doubled the money 10 times. Subconsciously touched his pocket, Naruto showed a smile on his face. Not bad, it really increased, although I don't know the reason, but as long as it increases, it is also a good thing for him. I said, can you stop calling me the old man, call me third generation, or call me grandpa. The old man is kind, he looks different. Ha ha ha, yes. You successfully caused Sarutobi Hiruzen to laugh, the critical strike was 10 times higher, and you got the monster meat. Yes, you can have this. Sarutobi Hiruzen, good man. You look happy. Sarutobi Hiruzen stroked his beard and smiled. He likes chatting with Naruto the most. Although this guy has a weird temper sometimes, he has a very good attitude. He also likes the mouthful old man very much. By the way, old man, please do me a favor. What's busy? Help me kill this lobster. Sarutobi Hiruzen had no expression on his face. Well, he retracted the thought just now, this guy is still so hateful. Lobster. I don't know how to do it either. For a moment, the two stared at each other, speechless. Sell it. For a long time, Naruto stopped. Feeling Sarutobi Hiruzen doesn't mess around with lobsters, he's happy for nothing. You successfully aroused Sarutobi Hiruzen's speechless emotions, tripled the critical strike, and obtained the monster meat. Well, let's sell it. Sarutobi Hiruzen also nodded. He really doesn't know how to handle this kind of thing. Usually the nanny cooks at home, and his wife did it when he was still alive, so he really didn't do it himself. This directly involves the blind spot of his knowledge. By the way, I'm here today to give you this. Sarutobi Hiruzen took money out of his pocket and handed it over. Here, this is your living expenses for this month, save it. Oh, Naruto took it blankly. This is already a routine, and I don't know why he came to deliver it in person. This kind of thing is actually the same for another person, and it will not make him happy. Sarutobi Hiruzen touched Naruto's head. You have to be good. I'm better than anyone else. 2. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled, and found that the atmosphere was weird every time he came, so he simply turned around, waved his hand, and left. Watching Sarutobi Hiruzen leave, Naruto glanced at the crawling lobster and sighed. It seems that I can't eat you, I'd better eat monster meat. After putting these lobsters away, Naruto turned and went to the refrigerator, pretending to take out a piece of meat, and started cooking. Such is the life of a man. He is used to this kind of life, and he is also good at cooking. As time went by, my appetite became bigger and bigger, and I also found out that this crit ability is very important. After eating and drinking enough, Naruto begins the day's summary. Draw all the critical attacks in the past few days in a table, and classify them in the form of previous life characters. He discovered something amazing. That is, the stronger the person is, the more things will come out of the crit, and the greater the fluctuation. Looking at the table in front of him, Naruto was thoughtful. And many of these critical strikes are repeated, and there are many ninjutsu and other things that don't work for me. How to solve this? Naruto twirled the pen subconsciously in his hand, thinking about how to deal with it. It is foreseeable that as time goes by, there will be more and more critical strikes, and there will be more and more repetitions, and then I will look very bloated. It would be great if we could separate the abilities during a critical strike. Naruto sighed, burned the piece of paper in his hand, and smiled wryly while burning. I'm just fantasizing, having this critical strike ability is already pretty good, and I still think about it. But really, he did think it would be a lot better to be apart. He can use these repetitive abilities to train others, such as Ino, such as Hinata. Train them and make them stronger. Just sit in the back and eat a soft meal. Who said soft rice can't be hard? If he could, he would definitely eat this soft rice, wouldn't it be very sweet? It's just, how is that possible? Ding, the system is being updated. All right, this is an illusion, but Naruto did feel that as his thoughts fell, this crit ability did undergo some changes. Naruto's face changed, and he was a little surprised. This is okay. Tisk. Awesome, can this ability be perfected according to one's own thoughts? It's also too human, which I like. Naruto was immediately happy, so that many repetitive things can be kept for future talent cultivation. The first thing Naruto thinks of is Ino and Hinata, the two confidant. Naruto is very calm. He said that he is a small fan and likes these beauties, but so what? What is the difference between a person without a dream and a salted fish? Now it's Hinata, it's Ino, and Temari and others will come in the future. There are a lot of beautiful girls in Hokage. The world is so big, he wants to see it. By the way, if you can slightly change your abilities. Naruto's eyes lit up suddenly, and he thought of something, that is, if giving those confidants the ability, would it make them even more devoted to him? Naruto doesn't want to test people, but this is his own ability. If he can, he definitely doesn't want to expose it. If you can do that, it's perfect. Subsequently, Naruto had a vague feeling that this is possible, but the number of critical strikes is not enough, and the quality of critical strikes is not strong enough. So, this also requires preconditions. Naruto's face darkened. Then he was relieved. If that was the case, then he could wait. When the times are completed, it is time for him to start training Hinata and Ino. By the way, Shikamaru and the others can also train one or two. This can make a loyal similar. Naruto's mind glows. At that time, I don't need to do anything, and these friends and confidants of my own will be able to fight some enemies back and forth. This is life. Fighting and killing is boring, sitting behind and watching the changes is the ideal pursuit of life. Gia. Naruto smiled sinisterly, and entered the dreamland with longing dreams. Yo, Kakashi, you came back from your mission. The next day. In the afternoon, Naruto was eating ramen at Ichiraku Ramen. When he heard a rough voice, he turned his head and couldn't help but his eyes lit up. This is Might Guy. Beside him is. Looking at the flamboyant guy, Naruto recognized it at a glance. This guy is Kakashi. No one knows his true face. Anyway, Naruto didn't know. This guy even eats surprisingly fast, which is a hand speed that he only learned after being single for many years. Anyway, Naruto felt that he would not be able to learn in this life. The point is, the strength of these two people is very strong. Naruto's eyes sparkled, looking straight at the two. Yeah, I'm back, I'm exhausted. Kakashi sat down, ordered a bowl of ramen, rolled his eyes and said, I can take a good rest for a few days after returning from this mission, but unfortunately my kissing paradise hasn't been updated yet. Kakashi is a bit of a pity. He likes to read books the most, especially books like Intimate Heaven. He likes to read the most, and he holds them in his hands every day. He is also a serious book fan. Pity. The speed of these people's updates can't keep up with his reading speed, it's useless. Let's have a youthful showdown. Might Guy suddenly regained his energy, put down his chopsticks, and shouted, when you are tired, come to a youthful duel and you will find that the world is so beautiful. Clang. Might Guy put his foot on the stool, gave a thumbs up, and grinned, his teeth gleaming. Don't want. Kakashi shook his head hastily. Just kidding, he just came back from a mission and told him not to rest. All right. Might Guy is stunned, but he also knows that every time Kakashi does not rest for a few days, he will be killed and will not have a duel with him, so he can only give up. Anyway, after a few days to get entangled, he will agree. He's so used to this that he can't go wrong. Might Guy ate it, thinking about how to compete with Kakashi in a few days. Suddenly, Might Guy raised his eyebrows. He felt someone watching him, looked sideways, and met Naruto's pale blue eyes. Well, this brat. Might Guy narrowed his eyes, and a look of shock flashed across his face. This little devil's physical fitness is very good. He is an expert in physical skills, and he can't be mistaken in this aspect. This kid looks about 7 or 8 years old, but the distribution of bones in his body is very good. Yo, boy, what's your name? Might Guy threw Kakashi aside at once, came to Naruto, and asked with a smile. You have successfully aroused Might Guy's interest in you, triple the critical strike, gain +3 stamina. The next moment, a light group appeared in front of Naruto, and then drilled into Naruto's body. After careful sensing, the light cluster is still there, waiting for him to use it. This is the upgraded ability. But, Naruto, I don't want you to be interested in me. But, it smells so good. Hearing Might Guy's question, Naruto replied with a smile, my name is Uzumaki Naruto. It's you. Might Guy was startled, and Kakashi on the side also looked over. His eyes turned to Naruto, and he thought to himself, is this the teacher's child? Has it grown so big already? Speaking of which, I haven't seen him much in these years. You successfully aroused Hatake Kakashi's guilt. The critical strike was 100 times, and the ability of Kamui Mangekyo was obtained. Naruto's eyes lit up. Come, good things are coming. Kamui's ability, Kakashi's ability is the attack power in space. Naruto has never had any resistance to this mysterious and powerful ability. Tisk, I just met them, and a good thing came out of a crit. Naruto had a big smile on his face. Might Guy also had a smile on his face, and he walked to Naruto's side all of a sudden, raised his hand to touch Naruto's arm, Naruto's shoulder, and Naruto's calf. After a while Naruto's expression was stiff. When I was doing it, I was still amazed. It's amazing, this set of bones is amazing. Might Guy danced excitedly. It's great, I'm going to have an heir. This is the best kid he found who can practice physical skills. As long as he works a little harder, Might Guy believes that Uzumaki Naruto will definitely become a physical master beyond him. You successfully aroused the emotion taught by Might Guy, 1,000 times the critical strike, and obtained 8 inner gates. Naruto has no expression on his face. So, watermelon rind, can you step aside a little? He is also helpless. What's the matter with this person? There is no need to do this. Even if I have a strange bone, it has nothing to do with you now. Hey, Might Guy patted Naruto's shoulder with a smile, and said seductively, little guy, do you want to learn gymnastics from me? I promise to teach you to be a master of gymnastics. Don't want. Naruto firmly refused. Gymnastics. How tiring. Anyway, Naruto felt that he would not be able to hold on. Might Guy's face froze. No, why did you refuse so skillfully? Your physique is very good. If you practice taijutsu with me, you can even become a cage-level powerhouse with taijutsu in the future. Cage level, do you know? I know, it's amazing, but I just want salted fish, thank you for your kindness. Puff. Might Guy spat out a mouthful of old blood. Looking at Naruto's eyes, it is a person who hates iron but not steel. What a talent, but it turned out to be a person who wants to be a salty fish and doesn't want to work hard. I feel bad and want to cry. Might Guy beat his feet and chest, his face turned pale with anger. You successfully aroused the boundless anger of Might Guy, the critical strike was 1,000 times higher, and the physique plus 10 was obtained. Kakashi on the side glanced at Might Guy, then at Naruto, thoughtfully. He didn't expect that the teacher's child talent was so good that it aroused Might Guy's interest. Might Guy seems easygoing, but he is actually very proud. That is the attachment to physical arts, the confidence in physical arts, and the pride in physical arts. But now, Might Guy managed to notice another person. This person is Uzumaki Naruto. One can imagine how talented Naruto is. But he doesn't seem to be interested in gymnastics. Kakashi looked at the two of them, and smiled. That's all right, Might Guy won't come to tease me for a long time, but will follow this Naruto. Single quote. Suck it, suck it. After gulping down the ramen in front of him, Kakashi looked at the big and small two with great interest. One is helpless, the other is very interested and persevering. You have successfully aroused Kakashi's mood to watch a movie, triple the critical strike, and get a green vegetable with aura. Naruto ignored the intrusion of the light group, looked at Might Guy with some headaches, and finally fled in embarrassment. He couldn't take it anymore. This person is really too enthusiastic to the extreme. Guy, are you really interested in him? Watching Naruto leave, Kakashi fixed his eyes on Might Guy. Might Guy sighed after hearing this. Yeah, Meowsy is so good, my heart is moving. Might Guy covered his chest and muttered to himself. So, this is the feeling of heartbeat. Gone. Kakashi said it was scumbag. You guys aren't interested in girls, but you're fascinated by someone with a good physique. Admire, admire. You have successfully aroused Might Guy's heart-pounding emotions, 100 times the critical strike, and gaining physique plus 1. Naruto staggered, his face was ugly. Go to your heartbeat. A young man. Vomit. Naruto almost threw up. I just ate the ramen, please don't be so disgusting. Although he knew what Might Guy's so-called heartbeat was all about, but thinking about everything, Naruto shivered all over when he thought of that certain scene, and ran faster. In no time, Naruto ran back home. Clutching his chest, Naruto smiled wryly. This really scared me half to death, it's so enthusiastic. Single quote. Correct. As soon as Naruto thought, light clusters appeared in front of his eyes. These are all good things, none of them are repeated, especially Kamui's ability makes Naruto sincerely happy. All in. Wang. As Naruto's thought fell, these light clusters disappeared in a flash, and all of them merged into Naruto's body. Then Naruto felt that he knew Kamui as if he was born with it, and his physique was gradually becoming stronger. There's one more this. Naruto looked at the Chinese cabbage in his hand. This is a green vegetable with aura, I don't know how it tastes, and what will the effect be like. Single quote. Okay, let's eat this tonight. Vegetables with Warcraft meat. Naruto smiled confidently. My life is no better than your daily training, being a master of gymnastics. Forget it. Shaking his head, throwing away the horrific picture of himself running away in the village wearing a green leather tights and having in his mind, Naruto put the Chinese cabbage in the refrigerator and stretched. During the rest time, it should look like a rest, let's go out and play. Go the other way, that way we won't run into that Might Guy. As soon as he thought of it, Naruto pushed the door and walked out, ignoring those disgusted expressions and vicious words along the way, and walked to the ruins of Uchiha without knowing it. At this time, the place is already empty. The smell of blood has long dissipated, and the rest is depression. A small figure struggling to move things is Sasuke. Sasuke. Naruto was silent, then walked over and silently helped Sasuke lift the box, not to mention, it was quite heavy. It's you, thank you. Sasuke raised his eyes and glanced at Naruto, feeling warm inside. Are you moving house? Yes. Sasuke nodded. There is no way to live in this place. Although it looks very big, He has nightmares every night. Better to move out than still have nightmares here. Anyway, he can't live in such a big place by himself. Naruto patted Sasuke on the shoulder. You successfully aroused Uchiha Sasuke's gratitude, 5 times the crit, gained fire style, and unkillable technique. Gone. Seeing this, Naruto spurted out a mouthful of old blood. Are you serious about ninjutsu? You just say it is fire style great fireball technique, and you are still teasing me here, who doesn't know? Thinking back carefully in the original book, this ninjutsu looks very powerful, but it has not even killed a single person, and it seems that there is one named Amaterasu as well. But you can't deny that these ninjutsu are powerful. There are a lot of things, if you feel tired, you don't need to help. Seeing Naruto pondering, Sasuke couldn't help saying that he didn't want to bother others, let alone Uzumaki Naruto. For some reason, he always felt that the two should be rivals. What's the matter now, friend? Oh, it's all right. Naruto replied subconsciously when he heard the words, then crossed his hands, and said lightly, multiple shadow clone technique. Bang bang bang. As the smoke lingered, Naruto's shadow clone separated out one by one, rolled up his sleeves under Sasuke's stunned expression and said with a smile, look, we have a lot of people. Sasuke. Invisible pretentiousness is the most deadly. Naruto's invisible help directly gave Sasuke a megaton crit. At this moment, Sasuke's eyes straightened. Is this multiple shadow clone technique? Sasuke looked at Naruto like he was looking at a monster. This ninjutsu is said to be a taboo technique, and few people even in the big family know it, let alone orphans like them now. Naruto shouldn't have learned it, unless he saw someone else use it. This kind of thing is not impossible. He has seen Naruto's evildoers before, but now, looking at it, he still takes it for granted. There is no most evildoer, no more evildoer. What's wrong? Naruto wondered. Is there anything else that is difficult? There is none left. Sasuke shook his head, expressionless. It seems that Naruto still doesn't know how good he is, otherwise he wouldn't be so understated. But because of this, Sasuke felt uncomfortable inside. How can I catch up with such a monstrosity? Thinking of the bold words he let go a few days ago, Sasuke panicked with embarrassment. Then let's start. Anyway, I don't have anything to do today, so I'm free. Thanks. After a moment of silence, Sasuke said thank you again and started moving things with Naruto. See, this is the disciple I fancy. On the other side, Might Guy, who happened to pass by and saw this scene, smiled triumphantly. This is my disciple, he is helping others and training himself in his own way. Kakashi glanced at the self-impressed Might Guy, quite speechless. Whether or not you are good at yourself, he has not agreed to be your disciple. Don't bother him anymore, I'm going to have a better understanding so that I can prescribe the right medicine. Might Guy's teeth flashed. This is also youth. You successfully aroused Might Guy's self-moving emotions, tripled the critical strike, and obtained 3 aura green vegetables. Naruto's hand trembled, something almost fell and hit his foot. He looked around like a ghost, and he was relieved when he didn't see Might Guy. Although he only met once, he was afraid of him. What's wrong with you? It's okay, let's continue. Naruto shook his head and continued to help Sasuke move. Are you just moving here? Looking at the bachelor apartment in front of him, Naruto was a little curious. You should live in a bigger house, don't you think it's too small? I'll change it later. Sasuke shook his head. This is the smallest one, and it's just right for me now. Gone. Have been hit. Naruto clutched his chest. The gap between people is that big. He lives in a small house because there is only one room. And Sasuke lives in a small house because he only has one small room. The gap. It's decided, I must change to a big villa in the future. Naruto waved his fist, cheering himself up silently. With Naruto's help, Sasuke's relocation was completed soon. In order to express his gratitude, Sasuke treated Naruto to a meal of grilled fish. Thank you for today, but I will still chase you desperately and surpass you. Then let's keep going. Naruto showed a big smile. 2 people toast and drink. This is the agreement of friends, the agreement of rivals, and the agreement of opponents. Go buy some kunai. Walking out of the grilled fish shop and parting ways with Sasuke, Naruto looked at the sky and felt that it was still early, so he simply decided to buy some kunai. This will be one of the necessary weapons in the future, prepare some now, and you will need it later. And every ninja needs to keep kunai in his ninja bag, which is a necessity and a consumable. Tiantian Ninja Shop. Really big. Once inside, Naruto was shocked by the facilities inside. Without him, too big. Is this Tiantian's ninja shop? It's so inhumane. The world of the rich is beyond my comprehension. Shaking his head, shaking off the envy in his heart, Naruto began to look for a kunai that suits him. Do you want to buy kunai? A crisp voice came, and Naruto turned his head to look, just in time to meet a pair of dark eyes. Naruto's eyes lit up. It was Tien Tien. Looking up and down every day. The girl in front of me is dressed in a Chinese style, which fits Naruto's aesthetics very well. Naruto leaned on the side subconsciously, and said with a smile, "Beautiful young lady, I really want to fall in love." Gun. Tien Tien unceremoniously glared at Naruto. If you want to buy something, buy it, if you don't buy it, leave. What kind of person said that he wanted to pursue himself as soon as he came? Are you that pretty? Subconsciously touched his face. It seems that his figure and appearance are not bad, but he hasn't grown up yet. This man has good eyesight. I am very satisfied with the eyes that I look at Naruto every day. If your eyes are good, I will give you a discount. Naruto was not surprised either. It was just a subconscious behavior just now, and now even he himself feels that he is an apprentice. But come on, my fair lady, gentlemen are good. Although still small. But there can be a development plan. The appearance of the three of them flashed in Naruto's mind. He was entangled in his heart, each had his own strengths, and it was difficult to choose. Hey, kids only make choices, and I'll take them together when I grow up. Naruto suddenly became confident, stood up straight, and looked at Tien Tien with a faint smile. Well, give me some kunai. Success, I'll give you a discount. Tien Tien's eyes brightened and he opened. Hey, this is the kunai you wanted, and this one is for you. Tien Tien handed a few kunai to Naruto, and also gave Naruto a hand. By the way, Naruto almost stepped forward to hug Tien Tien and cry bitterly. But fortunately, his sanity was still there and he didn't do this. But still touched Tien Tien's hand. Thank you, good man. Tien Tien looked a little unnatural. I don't know if my parents will call me prodigal if they know about it. Probably not. Just a handful of suffering. Tien Tien was soon relieved, waved his hand at Naruto, and said with a smile, Go, come here often in the future. Of course, with such a beautiful girl, I will definitely come here often. Naruto put kunai into the ninja bag with a smile, waved his hand and bid farewell to Tien Tien. This person doesn't look like a demon fox as rumored. Aren't demon foxes all demon-like, but this person in front of him is a bit mean-spirited. Tien Tien propped his chin and smiled faintly. That's great, I sold a lot of ninja tools today, I will work harder in the future. Is this what it feels like to eat soft rice? Feeling the kunai in the ninja bag, Naruto touched his nose. Even if he just ate a little bit, he felt refreshed. You have successfully aroused Tien Tien's curiosity, the critical strike is 10 times higher, and you have obtained the kunai crafting skill. Naruto paused, and the smile on his face was even wider. As the saying goes, when a person is interested in you and curious about you, then you have a chance. Naruto chuckled. Take your time, he's in no rush. Hey, I have to go to school again tomorrow. When he got home, Naruto put his things away and began to wash the Chinese cabbage. As for the things obtained in the critical strike today, Naruto basically integrated them, successfully learned a lot of things, and slightly improved his physical fitness. If this goes on like this, they won't be able to bear it if I don't come a few more after I grow up. Naruto sighed, leisurely. The future life is full of joy. Hey, it feels so refreshing and delicious, and it has a different taste from that monster meat. With the first bite, Naruto almost swallowed his tongue like eating monster meat for the first time, it was so delicious. Is this a vegetable with aura? It seems that I am washing my whole body, and I feel comfortable all over. These two things always feel like they are prepared for cultivating immortals. Naruto muttered, and then smiled. It's unlikely, but as time goes by, I estimate that the strength will surpass Sage of Six Paths. Single quote. Looking forward to that day. Naruto held up his rice bowl and respected his previous life. Although he is alone now, he is very happy. In the future, he will never be alone. Let's say goodbye to the past and imagine the future. Naruto ate his meal, feeling more relaxed and joyful than ever. The next day, Naruto came to the classroom empty-handed, and found that many students had already arrived. Shikamaru and the others were chatting and joking. Seeing Naruto coming in, Shikamaru directly raised his hand to say hello. Sasuke also glanced at Naruto with a stern expression on his face. A new week has started and the competition continues. I will surpass you, Uzumaki Naruto. Sasuke clenched his hand under the table, growling inside. You have successfully aroused Uchiha Sasuke's emotion of wanting to surpass you. Critical strike 5 times, get fire style, impatience technique. Naruto glanced at Sasuke. This guy is really competitive, I really didn't see it before. But it doesn't matter, you can do whatever you want, I'm invincible. Naruto shrugged and went to his seat to do it. 5 years of student life, only a little bit of time has passed now, and I am drunk thinking about it. I will stay here for more than 4 years. When will I be tall? I heard that you know how many shadow clone. Shikamaru was a little envious. Where did you learn it? Is it difficult? Fortunately, I learned it just by looking at others. This thing is too simple and not challenging. Naruto shrugged. He can't say that he came out of a violent attack, can he? No one would believe this, but if they said that they learned it at a glance, and matched their monstrous appearance, they would soon make up their minds. That's enough. Anyway, that's what I said, and it's up to you to believe it or not. Multiple shadow clone technique. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the information in his hands and took a deep breath. This Uzumaki Naruto is really unexpectedly talented. Fair enough. Sarutobi Hiruzen showed a smile on his face. The stronger you are, the stronger your card as Konoha village will be. Jinchuriki, isn't that the case? I just hope you're doing well enough not to be mad at Konoha village. No, I have to go to school and give a lecture on the existence of the will of fire. After all, Uchiha Sasuke was there too, just right together. Sarutobi Hiruzen thought about it and decided to take some time to give a speech. You successfully aroused the emotions of Sarutobi Hiruzen's speech. The critical strike was 100 times, and you got the monster meat. Naruto. Speech. Could it be the will of fire you mentioned on the day you entered school? It's only been a while. You old man is coming to give a speech again. What kind of plane are you doing? If I have this time, I might as well chat with Hinata and Ino about daily life. No, I must get a shadow clone over then. I'm not interested in listening to his speech. As we all know, there are few people who can speak vividly and interestingly about speeches. They are all the kind of topics that make people drowsy after listening to them. The time is too difficult. This critical strike ability can be used as intelligence gathering. Naruto had lingering fears, and decided to be more careful in the past few days. If Sarutobi Hiruzen really came to give a speech, he would be a shadow clone and walk away. This Uzumaki Naruto is unexpectedly strong. Looking at the collected information, Danzo threw it into the flames expressionlessly and let it dissipate. He has the same thoughts as Sarutobi Hiruzen. This person is Jinchuriki, the nuke of Konoha village. With it, Konoha village will not be attacked by others. Because when a village releases tailed beasts at all costs, it's basically the same end, so no one dares to take the risk. Similarly, they dare not. So the existence of Uzumaki Naruto is a balancing point. As for whether Naruto is strong. Snort. Is Uchiha strong enough? Is Shisui strong enough? Is Hatake strong enough? In the end, it's all the same. You successfully aroused Shimura Danzo's indifference, 5 times the critical strike, and gained wind style. Great breakthrough. Danzo. Naruto was stunned. Did this guy lock me up too? It's really rare. This person basically has no sense of existence. If they don't know the existence of such a person, many people will ignore him. He is so low-key. Keeping a low profile until now, it is estimated that many people in the village only know that there is such a person, and it is impossible for them to tell why. This is not an exaggeration. Naruto will occasionally forget it subconsciously. Being a ninja to do this is amazing, and Naruto admires this very much. Just like now, if he didn't appear out of nowhere, he wouldn't remember it very much. Maybe he can remember it carefully, but it is definitely not as iconic as Sarutobi Hiruzen. This man is very dark. Tisk. Shake your head. At least he knows that he is a Jinchuriki now. As long as he is quiet, this person will never come to trouble him. They are basically a passerby state. Thinking of this, Naruto was relieved and ignored him. But this wind-style great breakthrough is quite interesting, fusion. Thinking silently in his heart, the next moment, Naruto has learned this ninjutsu, and it is still very proficient. This is the horror of crit. Once integrated, it is like being immersed for many years. Who can stand this? In a blink of an eye, school is over again. Time passed pretty quickly. Today Shikamaru and they all have things to do. Hinata is now being held and trained by Hyuga Hiyashi, and Naruto is doing nothing alone, wandering the streets. Yo, boy, what a fate. Might Guy got out of nowhere, sweating profusely, but with a smile on his face. We meet again. Look, how strong I am. When I use speed, I can be as fast as the wind. How about it? Do you want to learn? In no mood, Naruto cast an annoyed glance at Might Guy. He has nothing against exercising, but a crazy workout like Might Guy is definitely not what he wants. Instead of having a miserable future, it's better to refuse. Everyone has his own way, and his way is to strike critically and stir up other people's emotions. But he doesn't have the mood to pick it now, because many people's emotions are uncontrollable, and his occasional movement can stir up their emotions. If so, then why bother? Might Guy pulled his face deftly. Why is such a genius not interested in practicing gymnastics? He is sure that under his own training, Naruto will become a qualified taijutsu ninja, and it will not be a dream to carry forward the 8 inner gates by then. What a beautiful youth it is. Might Guy is narcissistic again. Naruto had black lines on his face. This man, there is really nothing to do with him. But do you think I'm Kakashi? No, I, Uzumaki Naruto with a heart of stone, will not be moved by you. You should die. You have successfully aroused Might Guy's emotion of wanting to cry without tears. The critical strike is 100 times, and the physique is +3. Oh, that's great. Might Guy's contributions are all related to physical arts. If this continues, my physique will not become very strong. But there are really few people who can stand it. Need a few more, he. Naruto stroked his chin and laughed. The Might Guy on the side was melancholy. Why don't you want to, and still refuse so firmly? Is ninjutsu as good as taijutsu? I'll keep working hard, Uzumaki Naruto. Seeing that Naruto didn't pay him much attention, Might Guy didn't take it too seriously. He believes that one day, Uzumaki Naruto will agree to be his disciple, inherit his mantle, pass on the 8 inner gates, and carry forward. It's really perseverance. Naruto holds the forehead. Why don't you understand? I just don't want to. No one can impress me. Naruto watched helplessly as Might Guy laughed with great interest. You might as well go to Kakashi when you have this time. Now Kakashi is easy, but I am hard. It's treacherous. Naruto thought of Kakashi's idea for a split second. No wonder this guy has been in the village recently, but he just doesn't show up. He must be avoiding the Might Guy. Treacherous. Naruto cursed secretly, but there was nothing he could do. Elite Jonin is just that wayward. The years are long, and in the blink of an eye, it is almost 5 years. The time to go to school sounds fast, but it seems to be very slow, but the time is leisurely, and 5 years have passed. I'm about to graduate. Standing in the corridor on the 2nd floor of the ninja school, watching the classmates coming and going, Naruto looked back. How time flies. I can still vividly remember how I looked before I was 7 years old, and I can still see the child who was chased by Might Guy and fled in embarrassment. Now, it is already 5 years later. Yes, graduated. Tomorrow is the graduation exam. Do you have confidence? Look at me. As soon as Shikamaru finished asking, he wondered if he was stupid. If Naruto didn't have confidence, who would have confidence? Over the years, this guy has been that high mountain, standing in front of their eyes, which they can't even cross if they want to. Whether it's ninjutsu or taijutsu, they are not his opponents. Even Sasuke was trying to catch up, but was still desperate to find that this person was really too strong to catch up. Thinking about it now, it was ironic when Naruto entered the school. The gods want to lower the average score of their classroom. Are you lowering it? You are completely raising it, the kind that doesn't make people gasp. Tomorrow's graduation exam. Mr. Iruka will no longer have to see my face. I think he must be very happy. I'm very happy. Uruka growled with a gloomy face. Don't think that you can do whatever you want just because you are number one in the class. In 5 years, have you listened to a class seriously? You have not. Uruka spit all over the place. I don't sleep or chat with people all day long, and then I wander around the world, but if you are more serious, your current strength may be even stronger. You have successfully aroused Uruka's angry emotions, and obtained aura green vegetables. Naruto spread his hands, looking helpless. Teacher Uruka, what are you doing with such a distasteful look? I've worked really hard to crit. It's just so now. Whether it is physical strength, speed, etc., it will blow you away. Am I proud? No, forget it, Naruto, you are my pride. Uruka waved his hand. He was angry, so what if he was angry? Naruto suppressed a campus arrow with absolute strength. With his presence, no one in the school can match him. It made him think of Hatake Kakashi, of Uchiha Itachi. So do they. In their day, there was no one in school who could compete with them. How similar to the current Naruto. Remember to take the exam tomorrow. Uruka glanced at Naruto indifferently, and left. He is very busy now and has no spare time at all. Ms. Uruka really cares about you. Naruto's eyes widened suddenly. I'm so awesome, shouldn't this be the way I should be? Shikamaru was speechless. Hi, it should be. You successfully aroused Shikamaru's speechless emotion, tripled the critical strike, and obtained the shadow clone technique. What ninjutsu is this? Naruto's heart moved. He grasped the light ball, and after careful study, he realized that this is a secret art of the Shikamaru family, and shadows can be cloned. It's really good. Incorporating it into his body, Naruto muttered to himself, there are not many things that have been critically hit in the past 5 years, but it is enough for me to improve their strength. Single quote. Then, it's time to start eating soft meals. Naruto smiles. Naruto, see you tomorrow. Well, see you tomorrow. After waving to Ino, Naruto went to wave goodbye to Hinata. In the past 5 years, their relationship has been very deep. They have played together since they were young, and Ino will not go crazy with Sasuke now. Little Sakura persevered alone. Naruto has been watching with cold eyes these years, and found that little Sakura is really in love with Sasuke. I don't know what is so good about this guy. There is a girl who pursues him so persistently. It's really good to have such an experience in life. Naruto was silently envious, but turning around to look at the shy Hinata and cheerful Ino, Naruto smiled again. I don't seem to be bad either. Oh, correct, there is one more day. Tomorrow is the graduation exam, and then you should be divided into classes, go out to do tasks, and finally you can go out. It's not easy to get to where I am today. All 5 years in school. If it's just the chaos in the streets and alleys, he is very curious about the outside world. Well, there are still some basic tasks to be done, but there is no need to be too anxious. You can go out when Darsna arrives. The outside world, I, Uzumaki Naruto, have come. The next day, Naruto came to the classroom early. There is one thing to say, even though he has experienced it many times, Naruto is still very excited when he thinks of graduating, and he didn't sleep well all night. Ha ha ha, Shikamaru, what's wrong with you? You have a black eye. Hey, I didn't sleep well when I thought about graduating. Like me, I slept soundly. Naruto and Shikamaru looked together, and couldn't help being a little envious when they found that Choji was still eating snacks heartlessly. The life of such a heartless person is really very comfortable. You aroused Akamichi Choji's calm emotions, doubled the critical strike, and got a family bucket of potato chips. Huh, that's not bad. Surprised by Naruto, this is the first time snacks have appeared. Family buckets, there are a lot of them at first glance, I like this. The tiredness on Naruto's face disappeared. After all, no one can resist the temptation of potato chips, at least not Naruto. Okay, everyone is here. At this time, Teacher Uruka walked in and saw a smile on the faces of the students present. Today's graduation test is clone technique, as long as you can use it successfully, you can graduate. Is not it simple? Uruka glanced at the students present, and said calmly, I will wait for you in the next class with Mizuki-sensei, and come if you call your name. Also, no whispering. After Uruka said, holding the book and Mizuki looked at each other, and went straight to the next class. Students are called one by one. This ninjutsu is not difficult for them. Naturally, it is not difficult for Naruto now, and it passed easily. Walking to the corridor, Naruto sat on a stool and watched everything on campus. In the past 5 years, many things are still vivid. I'm about to leave the campus, Naruto whispered, looking a little depressed. Naruto, what are you thinking? It's not like you to be so melancholy after graduation. A gentle voice came, and Mizuki came to Naruto's side at some point, lying on the wall of the corridor, with a warm smile on his face. So can you tell the teacher, what are you thinking? Thinking of a woman. You have successfully caused Mizuki to vomit blood, 10 times the critical strike, and obtained a research diary of Orochimaru. Hey, just kidding, Naruto chuckled. I'm just thinking that I will rarely come back to school in the future. No, you are thinking about your life experience, why those people speak so coldly to you. Mizuki looked like I had seen through your expression, and said gently, I know that under your smiling face is melancholy, puzzlement, and anger. Stop talking, I understand. Naruto opened his mouth, you know a hammer. What the hell are you trying to do? I am number 1, do you still want to encourage me to steal the sealed book? Is it necessary to be so persistent? Naruto was also drunk. You come to instigate this bottom to last number 1, and you still come to instigate me when I am number 1, and you still act like you understand me, you are awesome. Naruto's heart moved, he simply climbed up the pole, it depends on what you want to do. But Naruto looked depressed. Yes, Mr. Mizuki, I have always been very puzzled, why they treat me like this. Naruto clenched his fists and looked angry, am I not good enough? Is there something wrong with me? Why is this? Naruto growled under his breath. Mizuki's eyes were slightly cold, and he smiled faintly, you can find the answers to these in one place. Where? Naruto grabbed Mizuki's clothes with an eager look on his face. Well, very good, I even admire my acting skills. Naruto thought inwardly, the desire on his face became more intense. Mizuki's smile was even worse, this rubbish demon fox, even if you are the first in the school, so what, it's still under my control. Thinking of this in his heart, Mizuki's face became more and more gentle. Have you heard of the sealed book? The Book of Seals. Naruto shook his head in confusion, I've never heard of it. What is the Book of Seals? Puff. Mizuki nearly spat blood. After all, you are well educated and the first in age, but you have never heard of the great name of the Book of Seals, did you make a mistake? You have successfully aroused Mizuki's confusion and anger, the critical strike is 10 times higher, and you have obtained the hidden shadow snake hand. Ahem, that sealed book is a scroll that records many things, and it contains everything you want to know. It must be important, right? Seeing Naruto's hesitation, Mizuki felt that he had to work harder, and couldn't help saying, it's okay, it's very important, but it's not very important. Maybe he is not very important in the eyes of others, but is it very important in your eyes? Because it contains the secret of why it treated you like this. Naruto sneered again and again. I believed in your evil. Isn't it just some taboo ninjutsu? According to you, it's still an encyclopedia. Yeah, Naruto's face was blank, and then he was determined. No, I can't get it. Mizuki quarreled and scolded in his heart, you are too useless, at this time, you even flinched, you are still not a man. You successfully aroused Mizuki's anger, scolded you for not being a man, gave you 1,000 times critical strike, and obtained living corpse reincarnation. It's all about Orochimaru. I've learned everything about Orochimaru. Naruto was speechless. Also, Mizuki actually said that he is not a man. Shit, you, a guy who doesn't even care about his fiancée for the sake of his future, can talk about me casually. Naruto smiled coldly. Be careful of the old king next door. Puff. Mizuki is in a hurry. You man, I talked to you nicely and you actually cursed me. It has been 5 years since Naruto told the illusion of the old Wong next door last time, and he has often been criticized in the past 5 years. Everything is Naruto's fault. Hateful. However, I will definitely find the sealed book and find the answer I want. Naruto looked determined. You successfully caused Mizuki's mood to fluctuate, the critical strike was 5 times, and the curse was obtained. What the hell, you little fool, I'll make sure you take a good look at the sealed book when you take it out. Mizuki cursed inwardly, just for a moment, his mood was ups and downs like a roller coaster, He had never felt this way before, this was the first time, it was very uncomfortable. Then what? The content of the sealed book is too profound. When the time comes, you can go to the grove outside the village, and I will wait for you there, and I will translate it for you. Really, Teacher Mizuki, you are so kind. I'm sorry. I told you to be careful of the old Wong next door. You were ugly. Naruto was crying. Mizuki's face turned green. Can you please stop talking about the ugly things about Lao Wong next door and me? It's very annoying, okay? Snort. I will endure. I will kill you at night. Mizuki's heart was full of killing intent. Naruto felt this keenly, and couldn't help but smile inwardly. This person really has a strong killing intent towards him. Don't you know that I am very sensitive to these things? Since you have such a strong killing intent towards me, then I will not be polite. The smile on Naruto's face didn't reach his eyes. Everything is at night. You have successfully aroused Mizuki's strong killing intent towards you. With a critical strike of 10,000 times, you have obtained Nine Tails Chakra. Naruto was taken aback. Nine Tails Chakra is out. But it seems that there are not many, only let him play Nine Tails mode once. This is also very strong. Well, the Nine Tails mode is so powerful that it can be used as a whole card. You successfully aroused Sarutobi Hiruzen's displeasure, tripled the critical strike, and obtained Warcraft meat. Naruto narrowed his eyes. Really? Now Sarutobi Hiruzen is looking at this side, so later on I can plan and put the sealed book there for me to steal. Can you lay out behind the scenes, lift Mizuki, and let me learn a ninjutsu inside? Or, to profoundly strengthen the will of fire? Naruto mused. Perhaps, there are calculations in it. These people have so many thoughts, Naruto can't figure it out at all. If you play with them, those who get killed won't even know it. Therefore, the absolute strength is the best, but you can't just flip the table because you have the ability to flip the table. Go home and steal the Flying Thunder God at night. In this case, if you want to play, let's play slowly. A smile appeared on Naruto's face. You benefit from this wave, and I earn it with blood. Soon, as night fell and the lights came on, many people stayed at home watching TV and playing games. Naruto slipped out of the room alone, and went to Hokage's office. Very well, you still acted after all. Mizuki, who saw this scene not far away, followed quietly. He wanted to make sure that Naruto had stolen the sealed book, and then he went to the grove to wait for him in peace. Oh, it really came out. Naruto, are you really that curious about your own life experience? Or do you trust Mizuki so much? Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the crystal ball at home with a slightly ugly expression. It's not turned off. Naruto quietly pushed open the door of Hokage's office, a little speechless. You don't even pretend, at least lock the door. Forget it, this also prevents me from breaking the door. Soon, Naruto touched the sealed book, and he leaned against the edge of the table, as if a stunning beauty was tempting him, beckoning to her. Come on, come on. Naruto touched his nose, and subconsciously carried the sealed book behind his back. With a flash, he slipped out of Hokage's office and headed towards the grove. It's done. Mizuki laughed wildly inwardly, followed closely behind. You have successfully aroused Mizuki's joyful emotion. The critical strike is 10 times higher, and you will get green vegetables with aura. Naruto curled his lips. Aren't you happy too early? With a thought, Naruto kept jumping, came to a slightly empty place, spread out the scroll, and studied it carefully. He is not greedy, because he knows there is not enough time. It directly locks the Flying Thunder God technique. In his opinion, this ninjutsu is simply the best choice for picking up girls. Awesome. If you don't learn this, can you still learn Impure World Reincarnation? It's boring, and he doesn't like it either. I see. Naruto looked at the learning method of Flying Thunder God technique, and his eyes flashed enlightenment. Suddenly, a soft sound interrupted Naruto's thoughts. Naruto looked up, just in time to meet Mizuki's cold gaze. Okay, Naruto, give me the scroll. Yeah, now that this moment has come, Naruto simply stopped pretending, and said with a smile, you should have a purpose in deceiving me to get the sealed book. Why, Orochimaru is so good. Mizuki's expression changed. You have successfully aroused Mizuki's doubts and panic. The critical hit is 10 times, and the gain speed is +1. How did you know? Mizuki looked at Naruto coldly. Forget it, since you know everything, you won't be able to live today, so go to hell with me. Mizuki suddenly had a handful of kunai in his hand. With a flick of his wrist, kunai went straight to Naruto. I said, are you underestimating me too much? As soon as Naruto stepped out, the body flicker technique was deployed, and the whole person seemed to turn into a phantom, appearing in front of Mizuki in an instant. How is it possible? What speed is this? You underestimate me. Naruto's eyes were cold, and the kunai in his hand pierced Mizuki's heart, and then he turned into a phantom and disappeared. No ninjutsu required. Just the absolute strength and speed alone are not comparable to Mizuki. Boom. Mizuki suddenly appeared not far away, gasping for breath, looking at Naruto with eyes filled with fear. Just now, he walked through the gate of hell. If he hadn't reacted too quickly, he would have been a warm corpse now. Who are you? Mizuki roared. He absolutely did not believe that the man in front of him was Naruto. Although the strength that Naruto has shown in these years is a bit monstrous, it is still within a reasonable range. But the speed just now is definitely not something that ordinary ninjas can possess. I, Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto smiled indifferently. You never knew me, because of your inner prejudice, arrogance and superiority. Naruto sneered. He knew Sarutobi Hiruzen was watching, but so what? By this time, he had enough for self-preservation, and with the addition of Jinchuriki's nature, he would only be happier. Fire style, immune to death technique. Naruto seals, hands almost become phantoms, Siwei Shen Hai Nun Yin. In an instant, the seal is completed. He opened his mouth and spat out, drowning Mizuki the moment he couldn't react. Ah, there was a scream. You successfully aroused Mizuki's pain, fear, critical strike 1,000 times, and gain Sage Body Quality +1. You successfully caused the shock of Sarutobi Hiruzen, the critical strike was 10 times, and you got the monster meat. You have successfully aroused the wrath of a passerby ninja, 5 times the critical strike, and obtained aura green vegetables. You successfully aroused the anger of passerby B, the critical strike was 5 times, and you got Earth Style, Earth Dragon Bullet. You have successfully aroused the anger of passerby C, the critical strike is 5 times, and you have obtained multiple shadow clone techniques. You have successfully aroused Iruka's anger, the critical strike is 10 times, and the number of chakra obtained is +1. A large wave of critical strikes swiped the screen. Naruto almost laughed when he saw this. Not to mention getting the Flying Thunder God technique in conjunction with the performance of a scene, but also got so many good things, although most of them are ninjutsu, but it is enough for Naruto to be happy. These are all things that could not be brushed before. You can imagine the anger of those people. Anyway, Sarutobi Hiruzen will explain this matter, and I just need to cooperate with the performance. Now it seems that this wave of acting has been fully paid. I really want to come a few more times. Naruto sighed, and went back with Iruka obediently. As for Mizuki, he was really an immune to death technique. He didn't die, but he was almost half disabled and was taken back. You successfully aroused Iruka's shocking emotion, tripled the critical strike, and obtained the water of aura. You were really amazing. Iruka sighed, but didn't care. In fact, he has always seen Naruto's strength, even if he didn't show it, but from the subtleties, it can be known that Naruto is definitely not weak. Otherwise, what qualifications does he have to be the number one? Not to mention Naruto, even Sasuke can defeat Mizuki. This is Iruka's confidence, but Mizuki was overconfident in himself and underestimated others, so it was a tragedy. He thought he could fool Naruto, but he was fooled by Naruto, and he lost his wife and lost his army. Good guy, now the fiancé really belongs to someone else. The old king next door is so terrifying. Iruka looked at Naruto with strange eyes. How does this guy feel like a prophecy? He said that 5 years ago, and it will be realized 5 years later. If there is no accident, Mizuki will not be able to get out, and his fiancé will have to remarry. As for which old king? Then I don't know. Mr. Iruka, what kind of eyes are you looking at? Ah, no, I just feel that your words have come true, and it feels a little strange. Ha ha ha, then do you want me to prophesy for you? No, please don't. Iruka was taken aback. He didn't want to take advantage of the old king next door, it was terrible. Ha ha ha, I just said it casually at the time, don't be afraid. You successfully caused Iruka to panic, triple the critical strike, and get the water of aura. Is this the water of spiritual energy? Naruto took out the Reiki water, poured it into a bowl, took a sip. It felt like soda, it was delicious, and there was another warm current swimming around. This can't be another cultivator. Naruto was speechless. Warcraft meat, aura vegetables, and now aura water. This aura is the force of nature, you pretend I don't know it. But these things are good, so Naruto doesn't care about them. It's better to use them first than nothing. As for what happened outside, Naruto didn't care even more. His work is over, and it will be time for Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo to perform. As for what Yuki Snake God can be found, it depends on their abilities. Naruto spread his hands, saying that he was only going to watch the show. You successfully aroused Udatane Kaharu's curiosity, tripled the critical strike, and obtained Warcraft meat. Ha! Naruto's spirit flicked. Warcraft meat. Is Udatane Kaharu great? It was still related to his identity, and the rare Warcraft meat appeared again. And what about Mitokado Homura? Naruto came interested. He found that this critical attack was in line with his own wishes, and he could come up with whatever he wanted. It's amazing. He is really looking forward to it, if Mitokado Homura can burst out the monster meat. It looks like it's still the same, and it doesn't work. Compared to Danzo, these two people have no sense of presence, and they don't come out unless they have to. Naruto hadn't seen them more than 3 times in the past few years. So, I still need to brush up on those around me. Naruto had this realization. This Uzumaki Naruto is so strong. At the same time, in Hokage's office, several people from Sarutobi Hiruzen are having a meeting. The core issue of the meeting is about Naruto's strength and who else is behind Mizuki. They didn't believe that Mizuki could do this alone. The Book of Seals is something that is kept absolutely confidential, and only those approved by the 3rd generation will be eligible. But Mizuki actually wants to steal the sealed book. This is absolutely unbearable. And the people behind Mizuki. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes turned cold. He glanced at the few people present, and said calmly, Naruto's strength is obvious to all, you can rest assured. I've always been reassured, Danzo said lightly. Now it's Mizuki's problem. Who is behind him? Why does he want to join Orochimaru? These are all questions. Aren't we discussing now? Udatane Kaharu shook his head helplessly. Although I am concerned about Naruto's affairs, it is a good thing that he is stronger. This is even a good thing for Konoha village. What I am concerned about now is Mizuki's problem. Several people were speechless. After all, it is nothing more than whether there is someone behind Mizuki and who it will be. Danzo. Cough. With a dry cough, Danzo sneered and said, go and investigate, mobilize the power of the root and Anbu, and we must find it out. Orochimaru has defected for several years, and people still think about Orochimaru. We should reflect on why Orochimaru is so attractive. Several people were speechless. Wasn't Orochimaru's charm always so strong? If it weren't for the birth of 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato, Orochimaru's record is indeed not as good as 4th generation's, and then Orochimaru broke out the scandal of doing research at that critical moment. The current 4th Hokage may belong to Orochimaru. Yes, he's just that good. That's awesome. In terms of personality charm, he is very good at it. At this point, Sarutobi Hiruzen has no doubt that Orochimaru is such a powerful ninja. Several people have headaches. This is really hard to guard against. Today I will take pictures, and tomorrow I will go to school to report, and I am going to be divided into classes. I don't know if it will be the 3 of us this time. It's probably still like this. Naruto touched the forehead protector on his forehead, smiled slightly, and didn't care. Go, let's take pictures. Naruto went out excitedly and came to the photo studio. It's this brat. The person who took the camera didn't have any ill feeling towards Naruto. Seeing the forehead protector on Naruto's forehead flashed a trace of awe. In their eyes, ninjas are high-level martial arts figures, and such people are very destructive. He is an ordinary person. He just takes pictures honestly and he is done. The rest has nothing to do with him. The owner of the photo studio thought calmly, said Eggplant, and snapped a photo for Naruto. You successfully aroused the awe of the owner of the photo studio, doubled the critical strike, and gained the ability to capture pictures. Naruto. This thing seems to be pretty good. With a mobile phone in the future, He can take many good-looking photos with this ability. Thanks, boss. Naruto waved his hand and left the photo studio with a smile, leaving the owner of the photo studio with a suspicious face. What did I do? This child is so polite. It's completely different from what people outside have said. It really is scary. You have successfully aroused the gentle mood of the owner of the photo studio. Double the critical strike, and get a camera. Ah, this. Looking at the light cluster in front of him, the corner of Naruto's mouth twitched, and his brows were beaming with joy the next moment. This thing was very expensive in this period, and it was used by rich people. I didn't expect this inexplicable to happen. But it seems that I can't take it out. Naruto scratched his head. With his financial resources, he simply couldn't afford this thing. It seems that it can only be used secretly in the future. Naruto put it away calmly, saying that after 5 years of development, this crit ability has become more and more humane, and these physical objects were basically Warcraft meat before. It's the first time it's like a camera. The next step is to find the old man 3rd generation. I don't know what he is doing now, he should be very busy. Naruto glanced at the Hokage office building, thought about it, and planned to go in the afternoon. If he went now, many students would need his approval. Good guy. With this executive ability, it's no wonder that the future Naruto is as tired as a dog, even going home as a shadow clone. Look at Hinata, deeply afraid. Maiden, if it were me, it would have to be big. How can you allow it to go down? It's a blasphemy against one's own ability. Naruto was indignant. Do you even need to go through 3rd Hokage for a graduation? The efficiency of this village is really hard to describe. Or is it that the 3rd generation wants to use this as a lecture? A profound talk about the so-called Will of Fire. Naruto pondered. It seems to have found the key point. Forget it, it's the last time. I won't bother to go to Hokage's office if I have nothing to do in the future. Naruto shook his head, shook off the unrealistic fantasy in his mind, put the photo in the ninja bag and was ready to go home. Yo, Lee, did you see that? This is what I said, your brother. Suddenly, a loud laugh came. Naruto followed the reputation, his eyelids twitched violently. It was this guy again. You successfully aroused Rock Lee's curiosity, tripled the critical strike, and obtained the Bialyanwa. You have successfully aroused the curiosity of Neji, the critical strike is tripled, and you get gentle fist. Quote. Very good, very good. Might Guy walked over with a big laugh, and patted Naruto on the shoulder. Unfortunately, Naruto, you are not assigned to my class. That old man didn't agree to my request. It's really disgusting. Last year, Might Guy went to the old man 3rd generation to reason about this matter, but unfortunately, he couldn't talk to the bad old man 3rd generation in terms of preaching, and he was directly defeated. Have no choice. I can only settle for the next best thing and bring these 3 people with me. How to say? It smells so good. Xiaoli may not have Naruto's terrifying physical talent, but he works hard enough and is very similar to himself, and everything is based on him. He really likes this guy. Pity. It would be nice if Naruto was like this. He always imagines that Naruto and Xiaoli will complement each other, and he will wake up with a smile in his dreams. Brother, hello. Xiaoli walked over with a serious face, bowed, and then smiled confidently. Brother, the teacher said that you have a strong talent in physical arts, and I would like to ask for advice when I have time. Naruto's face stiffened. Gone. When did I become your senior brother? Why didn't I know? Looking at Might Guy, Naruto was speechless. Seeing the guy's complacent look, he must have said it. Hey, although you don't agree, you have always been my good disciple in my heart. You see, I have given 8 inner gates to you. Have you learned it now? Naruto shrugged. Let's barely open 2 doors. Yes. He has never been trained, relying on critical strikes, and now he can barely open 2 doors. What a shame. What? Might Guy's eyeballs almost bulged when he heard this. Xiaoli Tiantian and the others on the side gasped even more. Gone. 2 doors. They all know how difficult it is to train the 8 inner gates. Might Guy handed it over to them, but only Xiaoli can persist. Now you tell me you can barely open 2 doors. Lying in a big trough. All 4 were shocked, especially Might Guy, who was even more shocked. You successfully aroused Might Guy's super shocking emotions, 100 times the critical strike, and gained Constitution +3. You successfully aroused Rock Lee's shocking emotions, the critical strike was 10 times, and you got Lilianhua. You successfully aroused Tiantian's shocking emotions, doubled the critical hit, and gained Tiantian's favorability +1. You successfully moved Hyuga Neji's shocked emotion, tripled the crit, and got 8 trigrams air palm. It seems that something strange has slipped into it. Naruto was surprised. Tiantian's favor. Subconsciously fixed his gaze on Tiantian's face. Tiantian waved his hands and smiled sweetly. Naruto, good morning. Good morning. Naruto had a gentle smile, and he became more and more generous every day. It seems that you are very familiar. Might Guy took a deep breath, a little melancholy. Naruto, are you really not going to learn from me? The opportunity is rare. He hasn't given up yet. Especially when he heard Naruto said that he could open 2 doors, he didn't want to give up. He knows how difficult the 8 inner gates are, and he knows how lazy Naruto is. 5 years. He surrounded Naruto whenever he was free, just wanting Naruto to learn from him, so he clearly knew that this person was lazy to a point. But just because of this, his physique often inexplicably becomes stronger. It made him more determined. This person must be able to carry forward his physical knowledge. Unfortunately, Naruto has no interest at all, which makes him very sad. Resolutely don't train, it's too tiring. Okay, but Naruto, I won't give up. Xiao Li, let's have a youthful long-distance run. Oh, Xiao Li and Might Guy looked at each other, their eyes bursting with fiery sparks. When youth is rejected, but their own clarity cannot pass away, go ahead, Xiao Li. Oh, come on, Mr. Guy. The two looked at each other, sparks flew everywhere, and rushed out with a bang, bringing up smoke and dust all the way. Naruto. Day by day. Neji. Well, don't mind, Mr. Guy is such a youthful and enthusiastic person. Scratching his head in embarrassment every day, he was still defending Might Guy. I know, you don't need to explain. Naruto nodded with a smile. He's been with Might Guy a lot over the years and knows Might Guy very well. Speaking of Might Guy, the fool Kakashi has been very comfortable in the past few years. Might Guy has gone to him a lot less, and it will not be because of his own existence. Naruto was heartbroken. No, if he is still assigned to Kakashi, the 7th class this time, I will definitely make him feel the pain. Why do I feel like I have a Nagato rush? When will you come to my ninja shop to buy something? Tiantian walked up to Naruto in a lively manner, and asked in a low voice, I have a lot of good things there. Yeah, Naruto's eyes lit up immediately, I'll go tonight. Single quote. Why is it night? Tian widened his eyes. I close the door at night. Cough. Naruto coughed dryly, accidentally thought wrongly, and said that he slipped his tongue. Well, I'll go to Hokage's office in the afternoon, and then I'll go to the ninja shop. That's about the same. Satisfied every day. Neji on the side. I am a big living person standing here, is it really okay for you to look like this? And Naruto, the fool, isn't he very close to Hinata? When will he be so close to Tiantian? Wrong. Naruto was also very close to that Yamanaka Ino. Gone. Neji's forehead jumped. This person is unreliable. You have successfully aroused Hyuga Neji's envy and jealousy. The critical strike has been multiplied by 1,000 times, and the ability to roll eyes has been improved. Quote. Naruto touched his nose subconsciously, bid farewell to the two, and left in a hurry. Stay any longer, and Neji's fire-breathing expression will burn him. Not so envious. That's 3. Oh, so far, I don't know about it in the future. They are still pure children. Kid Neji, he must be thinking wrong. Naruto sighed, there are not many pure children like him. Hey, Naruto, haven't you been to the office yet? Passing by the office, Shikamaru just came out, with eyes that were still awake, and asked in surprise. No, there must be a lot of people now. Not only one of their classes graduated, but several other classes. With so many people, it was so tiring to queue up early in the morning. You still have the foresight. Shikamaru gave a thumbs up. It's good that I came early, now the line in the corridor is long. Single quote. You would be wise to go in the afternoon. Would you like to go to dinner? Today is Choji's treat. Okay, Naruto readily accepts. It's not easy to kill a Choji, this opportunity should not be missed. Let's call Sasuke and the others, we will rarely be able to get together after this. Yeah, after graduation, it's normal to part ways. I will go to Sasuke and the others, you will go to Ino and the others. Good. Watching Shikamaru go, Naruto was silent. Graduated. Divided into classes. Many companions will have to do tasks with the leading teacher in the future, and it is really not easy to get together. Let's do it and cherish it. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.